The basement of geek. From the basement of Geek Public Network and the bowels of the internet, it's Friday night. You know what that means? It's the Mancave. And your hosts, Pat, Bill, and Hump. Well, we got one of the three. This is the Mancave right here on Geek Public Radio. Try to get everybody's microphones all up and running.
We're just sitting around bullshit and not paying no attention.
Well, you know, somebody's supposed to warn us that the show's starting.
I don't know why you would think that.
Wee Mac. It sounds like some shit you'd find on Jackass, the TV show.
Wee Mac for Wee Man.
So, today we're trying a little bit of Sun King, which is a local brewery.
Well, it sounds good, the description.
It's a Scottish ale.
I got this because my wife and I tried it at the beer run, and it's one of the few that we both enjoy.
I like it. It's not really the coldest, but it's not even not frozen. It's not bad. Well, there's some beers that's just horrible if they're just a little bit warm. This isn't one of them. No, it's got a good taste to it.
What do you think?
I don't know. I'm always hesitant to try new beers anymore.
Well, as long as it's not me that's bringing them in, you'll be okay.
Well,
It's not turpentine.
No, it's
not an IPA.
No, but Mick is with us tonight, and Mick is a sadist at heart. So
Mick's not a sadist to his own gut.
yeah. I guess I did screw up by not watching him drink one first. I just
sure, I'll try it.
He bought it. He's not going to waste money on 12 of them if he hates it.
We go to the north end of Indy to the Sun King beer tap out in Fishers and get our growlers full.
That's what you get.
I need to get me some Sun King growlers. I have 3 Wiseman. I have I'm thinking about too many cans. I'm in the neighborhood of like 17 growlers right now.
I like the whole gallon growlers that you can get at the glass factory on Batavia. They have full size gallons with the caps.
That's Muncie.
Yeah, over on Batavia Avenue in Muncie.
It's been there forever. The same place I'm thinking about then.
And they have probably 30 cases of the gallons left.
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I went and bought 2 cases of those, and we'll get 4 of those filled up when we head down there. I think they're just like $4 more than the standard fill.
Really?
Yeah.
Get closer to the microphone.
It's a little better.
So get closer to the microphone. Yeah.
Or pull the mic, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be kind of up on it.
I'm up on it.
Up on it. And start singing now.
Let's not do that. If we had anybody to listen to begin with, we'd definitely run the hell off.
It right out.
They're like, no, not singing. Not him singing, anyway.
Not any of us, probably.
I have a horrible voice.
Hell, I have a voice that nobody wants to listen to on the radio, let alone start singing.
It's got a hole in it.
I sing as well as I talk, so.
Well, that's why we're all paid by the hour.
So, what's everybody been doing this week?
I've been down staring at the Ohio River.
No, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
At least you got a little scenery.
Yeah. Nah, we're in a little bitty town down there, and it's honestly right on the Ohio River.
Where at?
Grandview. Just north of Owensboro, Kentucky.
Oh, okay. So you're almost to Evansville.
Yeah, I'm actually just east Evansville.
Yeah.
No, Grandview's in Anderson. It's right there by the hospital.
Have you hopped over and did anything while you're down there? Or?
We went down there a little bit, but didn't really do anything. Just pissed around, found some place to eat, and
See, there's still a casino in Evansville, isn't there?
I don't know. They kept advertising. They've got a big fall fest down in Evansville, and I thought about going to that. And then they told how many different food places was down there you could pick from, and I thought, no, Mikey would never make up his mind, so we're not going because there was 160.
Wow.
different food
Yikes.
tray. Yeah, I didn't realize it's a huge thing. That Fall Fest in Evansville is huge. I thought, hell, I might just go check it out one of these years.
If they have a Brazilian barbecue, let me know.
I've been
Especially
to
if
Evansville
it's
a couple
samples.
times for work, and I was really surprised at how big a town Evansville is.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not a bad town. We explored it a little bit because this is the third time we've been down there this year. We've probably got another couple weeks. We've got to finish the one we're on, and then got another little short 2,000-foot job after that.
I had to take an inmate down there once on a work release drop-off from the prison. He was a guy
That was a full day.
was up in the segregation confinement unit, and they stuck him in my van without cuffs.
Nice.
And then they said, you don't need a gun since it's just him. So I took him on down there to Evansville, dropped him off at a halfway house, and drove home. Got chased all the way across the state from Evansville to the northbound 65-ish area by some state trooper that had it out for me. He wanted to make sure I was going to do the speed limit. It was a great day. So I think I got like 16 hours in that day.
I was going to say, it's a 4 or 5 hour trip just to get
Yeah,
down
it's
there.
easily 4 hours.
And they let me know about it about 4 hours into shift. So, you know,
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah, nice day. Did that and added 2 more people to the family.
Well, good.
Good.
Okay.
Got my 2 nieces. They signed up for full custody. So they're living with us now.
So no more bullshit.
Yeah, and then no more of the craziness.
And they're how old?
4 and 2.
Oof.
Yeah, so I went from last kid out of the house in, say, 3 years to back up to 16 again, at least. So, but hell, it don't bother me.
You're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, I've got.
And they're all
let's see.
girls.
Yeah, all girls. 8-person family. I'm the only guy.
You're in the estrogen forest.
Yeah.
Well, it's because that you don't care because you gave up a long time ago.
Yeah,
Like,
you
well,
just-
might as well.
Been there, done that, and they're evil. Man, they are evil. not my nieces. I'm just girls in general.
Yeah.
We
That's
yell at
not-
each other, and you're okay.
It's
They
definitely
get-
not a Hollywood secret.
They get vicious.
They hold on to it forever.
I thought you hated her. Oh, that was last week, Dad. Okay.
My favorite meme on Facebook right now, it shows a female referee for the NFL, and it says, 3 years ago you did this, and throws a flag.
Yep.
My favorite meme is the picture of Al Bundy saying, "Don't try to understand women. Women understand women, and they effing hate each other."
Amen to that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a prediction right now. Within 2 years, all of that's going to be white. You're not going to have any other color left. It's all going to be white.
Yeah, it's
Either that or he's going to be on the road more often.
yeah. That's a possibility.
It's like, I just
Get some jobs across the country, Jim.
All I got to do is make a phone call. I can get on a crew that's gone for 6 months at a time. I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, that's a little too long.
It's rough.
That's a single man's job
Yep.
there.
Or
Yeah, but
single
going
or
down-
older, and the kids are out of the house, to where the wife could travel with you, buy a camper, and hey, you see the nation doing that.
Well, that's what I was trying to talk my wife into doing when I was doing the archaeology thing. Because
Yeah.
I was gone, I think, almost 4 months in straight, with only being home once every, for one day, every 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was just like, and then I came home, I was home for a week, and then left for another big long stretch of, that week she was like, "Oh, don't you have to leave soon?" I'm like, "What, you kicking me out?" She's like, "I'm not used to you being here."
It's too noisy around here.
It's like my wife's uncle retired from the Navy after I can't remember how many years, and I think he was only home for about a month or two. Next thing you know, he's taking a truck driving job going across the country. It's just that
What
she was
happened,
used to
Uncle?
him.
Just too much time at home.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I want to stay married, so I'm just going to go not be here.
It was a big check on our relationship when I stopped working full time at the prison. I mean, my wife and I were doing the opposite shifts. She was doing the weekends only, and I was doing the work at the prison for a while. And when I decided to go ahead and seek temporary part-time employment, I got a full-time job doing part-time work, but I mean, it's an adjustment being around each other so much. We're kind of abrasive, both of us.
At wintertime, if we're shut down for anything over a week, it's like either I'm going to go buy a damn snowmobile or shovel my way out, but I got to get out of this house because we're going to kill each other if I don't.
You can come over and help me prune some trees in the apple orchard.
Well, you might need one this year because we haven't really had too much snow for several years now.
No, we haven't had. Last year was
2013 had snow.
Yeah,
It's not been that long.
but you'll have a freak winter like that, and then after that, it's kind of like here and there with snow. It's not constant.
It all
like
it all depends on what Trump winter he wants. You know, he controls everything. It seems like
Well,
anymore.
yeah. Well, then the almanacs say we're supposed to have a rough winter this year.
Lots of snow is what I heard.
I've seen a lot of light brown woolly worms, and that means not a lot of snow. But hey,
I seen one that was
who's
almost,
looking at woolly worms?
I seen one that was almost white, just all the way across. It was the lightest brown I'd ever seen on one. And I seen
The
a lot of
black
them.
ones are supposed to be a lot of snow, and then the black ends with the brown middles are supposed to be medium amount of snow.
I've seen the black, the medium, the two colors, and I've seen the just solid light browns. All I've seen so far this year.
And since it's only October, I probably ought to go out and get my almanac, because I don't have the newest one out yet, and I haven't been able to take pictures of all of our regional stuff and post it on Facebook like I usually do.
I seen somebody cut the persimmon seeds in two, and did 3 of them, or 2 or 3 of them. They was all spoons.
You never know if they're doing that from this year or 20 years ago, though.
Yeah.
Those pictures really don't have a time date stamp, and I hate following that.
Yeah, if I want to see that, I just walk back to Dad's house and grab a couple persimmons. But I know it's fork, knife, or spoon.
They're all saying spoon, but they said spoon last year, and
Didn't.
we got 2 snows.
Yeah. It was mainly cold.
According to the Old Farmer's Almanac online,
We're zone 6. Read the right zone.
wet and warm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we were in,
Trump changed his mind then.
if we were in,
Zone 7 with the lake effect out of Chicago, it's a different story.
that'd be warm and dry. Actually, is what's up there. Mild snow down in Missouri area.
That lake effect snow is just wild. You get to the top counties in Indiana, and you know the weather's going to change in the winter.
I have some friends that are out in the Dakotas right now. They moved out there about 5 years ago. He took a job with the Park Service, National Forester. And she said they're already getting snow. She said they got a foot of snow on the ground already, but it looks like blizzards every winter for them.
Oh, yeah.
I was just laughing. I said, I can't believe you moved from Indiana to that.
Yeah. There's a reason most people go south.
I think I'm going to end up in the mountains out in the high desert when I'm old and pissed off and don't want to be around anybody. That could be sooner than later.
As opposed to being younger and pissed off at everybody, right?
Yeah, as opposed to.
I enjoy South Carolina when I was down there this summer. North Carolina, South Carolina area.
Too many
But
people.
I don't want to be on the coast.
Too many people. I want to go up in the hills, run into some bears and some deer and some elk, and nobody. Have to drag me a woman into the hills if I'm going to have one up there.
People don't bother me too much. Large groups of people sometimes do.
That's why you get bigger magazines.
Apparently, it's supposed to start. I'm looking at it. It's supposed to snow in the southwest
Yep.
this
Probably
winter.
going to hit the orange groves hard.
All those people that move south to get away from it.
Right, you know those people who live in Arizona,
New Mexico.
Nevada, southern Nevada is going to get snow. Southern California is going to get snow.
Nice.
And it'll be cold and dry, and then cold and wet.
Now, I know my in-laws say they can't. They live in North Carolina, so as of last week, you couldn't step outside unless you wanted to get flown off by mosquitoes because all the flood water standing. Said it's just crazy down there now.
Yeah.
I enjoy the fact that California is going to get hit with cold stuff because they don't insulate any of their buildings.
Well, no, because it's like 72 and sunny all day, every day.
When I was out there, it got to the 40s, and they had us in Quonset huts, and their idea of a window in a Quonset hut was clear paint over a screen. And that was supposed to keep us warm. So, I mean, most of the people that are living in stuff that you can afford that's in the, like, less than $5,000 a month range has no insulation in the walls.
Nice.
No, it sucks on the heating bill. When we were down in Texas and it froze over that winter,
yeah,
we were down there. Yeah, the trailer park that we were in to save money on the rent, the trailers had no underpinning. They had no insulation on the floors under the house, and our water froze up.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, damn, I could have done this back home.
It's like,
no, because it's insulated, it wouldn't have froze up.
Right? It's like, oh, we've done this before.
Yeah.
I want to give a plug to eHarmony. The reason that I met Mandy was because I had to go stay at my mom's house for 2.5 weeks because the power was out and then my water froze up. And if I hadn't have been in front of my mom's computer and gotten on eHarmony, I never would have met my wife.
Well, there you go. You're the second person that had found their wives that way that I know. Not just through eHarmony, but one guy
dating site.
One guy we know met his wife through the dating site on the radio station, the country radio stations.
Oh, yeah.
Well, me and my wife met, and then her sister got a wild hair and met her husband, and they've been together the same amount of time. They got together a month after we did. And she's tolerated me for going on 14 years
Well,
now.
you're tolerable.
I think we're the same amount of assholes. On a scale of assholes, we are about equal.
Well, there's that.
I am pretty sure I'd win that race. At least you'd say so.
Well, we're going to step away real quick, take a break, do the Carl's Jr. thing, and then play a song. We'll be right back. This is the Man Cave right here on Geek Public Radio. You're listening to the Man Cave right here on Geek Public Radio with your hosts, Pat Brooks and Bill Maddox. You can find out more by checking out the Facebook page, facebook.com/GPR The Man Cave. And now, our hosts, Pat and Bill. And yeah,
and Pat and Bill aren't here tonight. So you're sort of screwed.
They're not
right?
a good host.
You got it's like football. You got the replacements. Boy, you got fucked.
How can you call you the replacements though? Because you
We're
guys are
here all
here.
the time.
You're here all the time.
I don't know. Pat's gynecologist said he couldn't come tonight. And
Yeah, swollen labia.
I thought it was sand in his clitoris.
That could be true too.
seepage.
Seepage.
I don't care what it's for. Seepage is not a good thing to have.
No, definitely go see the doctor on that one. You could be passing around. Oh,
Talking about side effects and stuff. Has anybody paid attention to the new drug commercials? And they always tell you, if you listen good enough, it tells you, do not take if you're allergic to this drug. Well, how the hell are you supposed to know you're allergic to it or not?
Yeah.
you find out after you've been taking it 6 weeks.
Yes, but they
Do
warn
not
you.
take it if you're allergic to concentrics.
Yeah, they
Or
warn you in the
whatever it's
commercial.
called.
Now, don't take it if you're allergic to it.
And argue with your doctor if you suffer side effects because they don't read them.
Yeah.
I had to do that.
Somebody from the pharmaceutical company comes in and tells him, hey, start handing these out for this. And that's all he knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
What was that one anti-inflammatory? It was causing heart attacks.
Oh, I can't remember.
A couple girls before Mandy came along, this girl Brooke I was dating, her mom worked in a doctor's office and they got a whole bunch of those on samples.
Yeah.
And she gave them to me and I started using those. My damn heart started racing And I'm flipping the hell out, and I'm like, I'm going to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
That reason right there is the reason why I don't take medicine. They'll prescribe it to me all day long unless I've had it before. I just, and they go, why haven't you done it? I was like, well, let's see. You've been wrong about my diagnosis for the last 3 different times, and you just said, here, take this med, you'll be all right. And they did nothing but cause me to have anxiety issues and this, that, and the other. And then come to find out that I didn't even need to be on them because it wasn't what you thought it was. Yeah. Why do I trust you now?
My wife had her buddy had a tonsillectomy from work. And the gal does a head twitch now. Like it's...
Tourette's?
Yeah, it's worse than Tourette's.
Oh, wow.
And she can't make it stop. Well, the doctor's given her 4 different meds now. And they've all had severe side effects the other way after they stopped working.
Mm-hmm.
So one of her coworkers is doing this. They had a dinner.
Looks like Night at the Roxbury's all the time.
Yeah.
Just start playing that music.
I was giggling about it when my wife told me at first, but it's been going on for 4 months now.
Oh, wow.
You think you're going to get, like, seasick.
The lady's going to get really bad sick after they finally figure out how to fix it. They had to
and now she's used to it. And they'd be like, okay.
The room won't stop spinning now.
I couldn't imagine having to deal with the... I had problems dealing with the... What do you call it? The vertigo from the meloxicam. I couldn't imagine having a head twitch to go with it.
See, I'm just on a blood pressure medicine, but I'm on one that's been out forever and a day. So pretty much all the side effects have been known, and so that one didn't bother me. It's that, well, we got this new one. It's been out for a year. We're going to, no, I don't think you're going to use me as a guinea pig.
Don't want to be on the trials. Thank you. The VA is famous for testing on the disabled vets and not letting them know it's a test med.
Nice.
Hey, we're going to try this out today. We just got this on the market. Not really. It's a test med.
Is the VA ever going to start being able to use... It's not a loaded question. It's an honest one. The medical marijuana?
The medical marijuana is getting voted into in the Senate right now, but I think a lot of everybody's pissed off with this is, why do I have to give up my Second Amendment right just so I can smoke pot and not want to kill people all the time?
But I think the problem with once it becomes federally okay, then it cannot be held as a thing because it's no longer illegal.
Well, if it's not a Schedule I narcotic,
which it should have never been to begin with,
right? Once it federally is no longer on the books,
I'm going to go ahead and volunteer for the psilocybin trials though, because they're using some happy mushrooms now. Apparently, that resets your brain waves, and you get out of the PTSD cycle.
Oh, really?
I would love that.
Apparently, that's what made me really just mellow guy for my 20s.
Psilocybin, that's been around.
Oh, yeah, but they're doing medical trials on it now.
They're finally deciding that
maybe looking at some of this stuff is not a great way to reset a combat vet's mind. Maybe we can give him an ultra chill for about a month or 2.
Yeah.
And then if he's not ultra chill at the end of this, we'll give it to him again. Because, honestly, I mean, some of the tests that they've done on, like, juvenile marijuana use says that it inhibits brain development.
Mm-hmm.
But psilocybin doesn't. It actually increases blood flow to the brain in all the hemispheres that it needs to be.
Yeah.
So that reset's a pretty good thing. And I think that marijuana probably needs to be edible more than it needs to be smoked.
I agree.
I agree on that.
It lasts a lot longer.
Yeah, but they have.
You just got to pay attention because I don't know how many times I've been off of one too many brownies.
No, I do know that they finally got senators and stuff like that asking the FDA is, what's your justification for having this as a Schedule I narcotic?
Well, they were actually setting it up for trials with combat vets that have PTSD in the VA.
Yeah, but
that's senator approved.
Yeah, so. that's why I'm saying I actually seen the thing where a couple senators were saying, look, we're not advocating using it, but why in the hell is it a Schedule I?
Well, when you got a president saying, you give me the legislature, I'll sign it right now.
Yeah,
to decriminalize.
And I have all these friends that are still anti-Trump, but they have no idea what he's actually saying. Hey, just read Twitter. You guys want to get wrapped up in what he's not saying, watch the news. But, hey, if you really want to know what's going on, just read Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Because this guy's batting 1,000 right now for all of his campaign promises, and I haven't seen that in my lifetime with the president yet.
No, because you don't have anything to run on next election. If you fulfill your promises, you can't run on them again.
Well, that was when he said, if I only need one thing to
one term to get it fixed, that's all I'm going to take.
Yeah. Well, if he fixes it,
what's the point in sticking around? Here you go.
Yeah.
Hey, next business major guy, go run for president.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he was talking about the free trade, and it's like, you're running all the free trade. It's free trade. Well, yeah. I said, we pay a 20% tariff to them. Yeah. And they don't pay anything to us. Yeah, free trade. No. Dumb trade.
Right?
That's a bad deal.
Well, and the fact with the tariff...
we don't pay tariffs. Yeah, we do. We pay more tariffs than the rest of the world combined.
The funny thing is because of the tariffs kicking in, Gary just got a $750
million.
It was a million or billion, because it was a huge number.
It was million.
It was a huge
they just
number.
opened their U.S. steel plant and hired a bunch of workers again.
To fire up the steel factories again.
A lot of people are worried about us running out our natural resources, but we can ship them in. I mean, the worst comes to worst, we just go to all our landfills and start digging up the old cars that are dumped in there.
Oh, yeah.
There's plenty of scrap metal laying around. And I know that they were stealing scrap metal left and right when Bammy was in office, so there ought to be some laying somewhere.
But yeah, like you're looking at not just Gary, but Philadelphia's kicked back open, or Pittsburgh.
I was going to say state of Pennsylvania is loving it.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is fired back up. I mean,
now this is sort of off topic, but they had the judge. I'm not getting really into that, but they was talking about the senators that were going to vote for him and who wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrat from West Virginia said that he would vote for that judge, and it's like, it's because he reads his people. He knows, this crazy shit these people are talking about ain't going to get me reelected. I better come back towards the center.
Well, if they keep going towards the extreme left, they'll be an extinct species like the dodo bird soon enough. And all we have to do is sit and watch it play out.
I tell you the truth, I like a middle of the road, any of them, Democrat, Republican. But there's nothing left. If they don't really want to
stand on our head and raise our taxes like the Hoosier State's done for the last 3 years, I would be glad to get rid of anybody that's willing to stand on our head with a $1.9 billion surplus. Judge, anybody, mayor, anybody, governor, anybody in Indiana.
Well, it's almost a dirty word anymore to be a moderate either side of the aisle.
Yeah.
You have to be either all the way to the left or all the way to the right, or you're no good for the party.
I watched the Indy politics scene, and everybody's heaping it on Bosma's head because Bosma's the House Speaker.
Yeah.
But Bosma's just saying, okay, let's go for this. I wish we had more people that were from a business background in politics, though, because then they'd realize that $1.9 billion is actually taxpayer money that should have been given back like 10 years ago.
Well, they have been giving it back. That's
the state of Indiana?
Yeah. Like, that's where I got a check from.
You didn't get back the $1.9 billion.
Well, no, I didn't pay in $1.9 billion, but I got
$1,000
back.
They got $1.9 billion over a 7-year period. That 7-year period, they refused to give that surplus back to the taxpayers.
Because
2 years,
they
I've
see
got
it as they can spend it
from
better than us.
Well, and then they don't have a budgetary confinement for keeping money. Most states, if their books are balanced, they're supposed to give the surplus back. Somehow Indiana
bypassed that.
Well,
I think Mitch Daniels put that on the papers.
But the problem,
I can see a rainy day fund to a point.
The problem I have,
that's a little crazy.
The problem I have with having a $1.9 billion, and then you have wheel taxes going in, you have this, that, and the other.
Why don't we just buy a small country?
Like, seriously, put that into use. If you're going to have it, put it into use in the counties that need the extra money to, rather than putting the wheel taxes in and the gas tax and this tax and that tax.
Oh, for Christ's sakes, they had to. The $1.9 billion they're setting on, and they had to have a special session to make sure they could spend money to fix the bridges.
Right.
Why do you even have to ask?
Because that money was in a different account.
What account?
Every account that they've ever levied taxes for to justify any capital improvement on the roads has been squandered after they established the tax, though.
Yes.
That's an Indiana pastime.
Right.
Hey, we're going to raise this tax just for roads. And then everybody's like, okay, because the roads look like Beirut. And then after the roads get fixed once, they're like, hey, we need more taxes.
Yep.
Well, where'd those taxes go? Because remember the lottery tax? That was supposed to go to schools and the roads.
Yep.
The leasing of the toll road, schools and roads.
And that money disappears every week. Where did it all go? I think what we need to do is have a couple federal auditors come in and look at the books in Indiana, but I'll probably get shot next week because I said this on live radio.
Oh, no, because it's not ran by the Clintons.
If I have 2 bullets to the back of my head, I didn't commit suicide, okay?
Right, well, there's a difference between how the Republicans do it
Yeah,
and the
you
Democrats.
did. It was that reaction when your finger,
That twitch.
Yeah, it's that second twitch.
It was a double tap.
The twitch from a silenced weapon that had different gunpowder residue on the back of my head than any pistol I own.
Yeah, they can explain it away.
I'm sure they can. I heard he's got a Glock. We're going to use that tonight. Yeah.
I have a Mauser. I shot myself in the head with a Garand from the back.
From the back.
I used a trench bayonet on a trench shotgun and stabbed myself at the cerebral cortex. Really, I
And
did.
then pulled the trigger.
And then pulled
Pull the trigger.
From
that
the,
twitch.
From the back.
It's the twitch, Woody.
Well, yeah, I think a bayonet to the neck or head would
That
make
causes
you twitch a
something.
little bit.
Usually if they sever that spot at the cerebral cortex, though, it's over. That's what that medulla oblongata was all about for the sniper school and things. The Vermilion Zone, the pretty shot.
I'm out of beer. You want to try something else?
Yeah.
I'll go pick something.
Well, hey, that's fine. We'll go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
Our break for the next 15 minutes or whatever. And we'll be back. We'll trying another Leinenkugels tonight. And
Tiny?
a Liney. But this is a fancy Liney. So we'll be back after these messages right here on Geek Public Radio.
Oh, I think it's been him.
You're listening to the Man Cave right here on Geek Public Radio with your hosts, Pat Brooks and Bill Maddox. You can find out more by checking out the Facebook page, facebook.com/GPR The Man Cave. And now, our hosts, Pat and Bill.
All right, well, we're back.
Using our radio voices.
Yeah. I can't help it.
Good morning to you.
No, honestly, it's funny because if you listen to any other show, by the first 10 minutes, I'm talking like this, having a good time, whatever. Without fail, I fall into the stuff that I learned at when I did at Ball State. So every time I come in, I'm like, hey, this is this is the Man Cave right here on Geek Public Radio. So how are you guys doing today?
Trying to mix it up so you don't get recognized in public.
Apparently. But no, and then I fall right back into the regular conversational voice, and
It's because it's impossible to stay in that because we jump around so damn much.
Unless you do it all the time. I mean, if it was a daily thing.
Yeah,
it is a daily thing, though, but it only lasts the first, minute.
What was that radio station up here? WAXT, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Rick Brewer used to work up there, and he had a heck of a radio voice. I always remember listening to his radio show, and that guy, he poured it on thick on his radio voice.
The funny thing is I was talking to... We were working in the garage, and I was talking to my son, and we had the 98.5...
Yeah, out of Fort Wayne.
Out of Kokomo.
Kokomo, yeah.
Playing in the garage and whatnot.
98.9's out of Fort Wayne.
And
The bear.
we were just talking and this, that, and the other, and he's familiar with listening. He goes, Dad, that guy sounds like you. So literally one of their DJs' radio voices sounded exactly like my radio voice.
Nice.
And I was like, hey, I could totally get a job if I could stop saying fuck. I like being on the internet because we don't have to worry about that. I mean, we try not to.
Yeah, they fine you pretty heavily on that stuff.
Right?
For a while, they was finding you for anything.
Well, they got a 7-second delay, so I mean...
Yeah, but I don't know how many people are like...
Yeah,
we cannot hear your show. Every time we turn around, it's beep this and beep that. And I said, I can't help it. I'm getting old.
It's a fill in the blank game. Get the hell over it.
Yeah, there's no dump button here.
I don't know. I'd have to be in the other room to run that delay and not talk, because that would drive me crazy to be like and try to listen to everybody at the same time and like in the real time. Oh God.
And then you go nuts the first night because we just start saying it
You'd
repeatedly.
have to hire a new producer.
It'd be beep, 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 beep. No, we'd have to put it in another room because nobody can do that.
Fucker's going to think his show's in Morse code by the time we get done.
The funniest thing about that is was working with a guy over at the Ball State thing, and everything was pretty scripted. You sat down, you had your clock wheel, everything was going by breaks. Okay, this time you hit this break, this time you hit this break. Even the songs were planned out to match, perfectly.
Everything.
And it's like, okay, so you need to do cut to the weather, which was all pre-recorded. So you just like, yeah, and it's this exact software. That's how I got to learn it. And
talk about the weather. Sweat my ass off yesterday. I got up this morning in a t-shirt and I'm freezing. Like, what
Right?
the hell? Welcome to Indiana, bitch.
But so we're doing the dumping and everything the way we're supposed to. And guy walks in and goes, stop. I was like, what? He goes, you totally weren't supposed to do that for like a whole other hour. We're screwed. I don't know what to do. It's like, well, copy it. Paste. He's like, no, we can't do that. That's not what it says in the books.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Damn books.
And this is why you, why are you PD? If you're going to flip out because of this. I'm just on air talent. I volunteered to do this. I'm not even getting credit.
Yeah, thanks, jerks. Thanks for wasting my hours.
This ain't bad.
It isn't too bad. It doesn't taste like warm piss
Well,
or flavored piss.
they had she might have had to bury the. I guess it's pronounced Vice, Veiss.
Barry Weiss.
We had that before, and that's a Shandy.
Well, I brought the summer Shandy pack over here.
And I drank
because
it all.
My wife hates it.
Really?
And I drank it all. I didn't share.
You do what you want with it. After my wife says I don't want it anymore, I just have to find a place to hide the body,
I think this has like a little bit of a cherry secrets taste.
I'm not hearing him.
I'm not hearing him either.
Woody, where'd you go?
Well, I don't know. That stuff happens.
There it
Oh, there
goes.
we go.
Woody's okay now.
You
So-
said
Just
cherry
weird.
secrets.
Yeah, it tastes like a little bit like a cherry cough drop. Just a little bit of that flavor.
I would give anything to have the hooked up from Tow Yard, but they're out of business. The hooked up from Tow Yard had a really nice grapefruit toss on it.
Ooh, nope,
And-
lost me at grapefruit.
That's why I didn't share it, because
It
half of
was-
those were grapefruit.
Well, it was sweet. It wasn't tart.
It wasn't the tart.
No, it was a
when
really
we had
sweet
up there at
finish.
Dan Miller, good God.
But they're out of business now, so we can't really talk about them anymore. Or wish that they had something as good as that. Oh,
Hell, I'm willing to try anything. Hell, I tried most of the shit he's bought, and it's been horrible.
my brother and I did a pub crawl down there from all the breweries with our dad for his present like 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Where at?
And we got like 32 growlers
We're at.
down in Indy. They had, we were supposed to be on a bus, but we ended up not getting a bus. And my brother decided he wanted to drive us and enjoy the fun between me and my dad being shit-faced. So we had a good time running around down in Indy.
I'll be your triple D. Designated drunk driver.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's a really good driver when he's drunk. I was impressed.
That's what that. What's funny thing is that was what Jared, everybody else tell me too. You're a really good driver when you've had a few. Like, don't tell nobody that, because that's like saying I got practice. I don't want people to know that, because they'll pull me over sober.
My neighbor, before she did the Elvis and passed away on her toilet ODing, got pulled over in front of my house with a .43, first ever DUI.
Oh, wow.
A .43, y'all.
Dead.
.4 is like coma. Is
.5 is legally dead. And I'll never forget that, because I was like, Mike Montgomery comes up, because he was one of the cops that stopped in front of my driveway. I'm like, how am I supposed to get out if my kids die? Well, we'll call an ambulance for you. Okay. And then they were making fun of me because I said, yeah, she was an ex-girlfriend from high school. And they're like, well, she ain't much now. I was like, wow, thanks, fellas.
Well, dodged the bullet on that one, didn't you?
But .43 first incident. I can't imagine how much.
Overachiever.
Yeah.
Well, you remember years ago when they found that guy in Frankton dead who had died. He was like a
dropped
point.
him off at the school.
Yeah,
His buddies.
his
left him
buddies
on
thought
us.
it'd be funny to drop him off, and he died because
Yeah.
he was like .4.
There were a bunch of Marines on the West Coast, and the reason they stopped letting the Marines buy just beer until they were 21 was because these kids were going out and buying like 12 cases of beer, going to the beach, sleeping on the beach, and waking up dead. We'd find like 2 or 3 Marines out there every weekend dead on the shore because they were camping out on the shore with all this beer.
No, was that out on the left coast?
On the left coast. Yeah, so they changed the rules for base consumption after that to where it's 21 for anything. Because like in the barracks, you could have beer from 18 to 21, and you could get beer at the E Club from 18 to 21. And right about the time I turned 21, I could buy beer on post. Everybody's like, well, you're still too young. I was like, no, I finally hit 21. But everybody always wanted me to go drinking with them. And they're like,
It's like negative.
I can't go drinking out on the town. And they're like, why not? And I was like, because I'm 17, I'm 18. I turned 18 in boot. I'm really young.
It's like, I may be big, but yeah.
It never stopped the prostitutes from trying to wrangle me down, though. I always had fun dealing with them. Me and my buddy
No,
go
thank
sit
you.
there.
No, thank you. Thank you.
We go to Denny's over in the harbor and sit there all night and play board games because I had this nice condo, the top half of this flat that looked out on the beach. And so all weekend we just chill on the beach, go to Denny's for late night supper, and the hooker crowd would come through and be on their way to Vegas for the weekend. It was ridiculous. Hey, how you doing? I'm like, go away. I'm just here for board games and food.
I'm not doing that
One
well.
of the kids was in the Army. He was stationed in Hawaii for a while. He said, basically, the first time you get down there, they warn you that if it looks like a woman, it might not be.
Don't go downtown to pick up hookers.
Yeah, they said
And
it's
if
a
you're-
real bad problem in Hawaii.
If you're in Thailand, it's a really bad problem, too, because about 60% of the sex traffic workers are all boys.
And the
Boys
sad part is they
Boys with girl toys.
Yeah, they look like they're girls. You don't know until you make that deal.
Chicks with chetties. They're furry, and they have things that they shouldn't have.
You got extra parts.
This doesn't fit. Like, you, good-looking girl, not.
It's anything but.
Look, a girl, penis.
It reminds me of the thing from the old guy.
The crying game.
Well, no, I said the old guy from America's Got Talent. I'll download it and I'll play it on the next break.
Okay, go ahead.
His whole song about she had that jazz, she had the face, she had whatever. The only thing she had a penis.
I don't think I ever heard that.
I know I haven't heard it. I remember there's an old guy on there singing about pull up your damn pants.
The sad thing is, it was bigger than mine. And this guy was like 89 years old or something crazy. He was like a really old guy, and then everybody just floored everybody. Unfortunately, it's sad. He got so far and didn't make it. But he passed away like a year or two after being on the show.
Yeah, but
But-
at least he got his, he did something.
He had some
Right.
fun.
Yeah.
He had his 15 minutes every week for a year.
That song, it still is like millions and millions of views because it's just one of those, it's this nice little song, and he's like, but she had a penis.
I know I've never heard it because I'm pretty sure that's stuck in my head. If I heard it.
It's stuck in mine forever.
We need to get shirts like that for my kids. I've been buying my son military-style shirts because he likes them, but he can't wear them to school. And I'm like, just wear a hat that says, my dad's a Marine and dares you to tell me to take it off.
I can't say much about shirts. I bought my kid a shirt that said strangers have the best candy.
I want one.
Strangers
I wanted to
always
get
have
one
the
for my
best
daughter
candy.
that says, show me the candy first and then we'll talk.
I'm not stupid. Show me the candy first.
I imagine my daughter's going to be that kid.
But I bought it for my oldest kid. She wore it at the house, like once or twice. And next thing you know, Sherry, it was about a year after she had her growth spurt, and I look up and Sherry's walking out the door with it on. She didn't care where she wore it. Take her over to Anderson or wherever. She's wearing her shirt saying "Stranger has the best candy." She doesn't care.
True.
I also found her the shirt that said, "Run, I hear banjos."
That would have been a great shirt for a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big Jason is telling me he's supposed to be in town this weekend, and I wanted to get him out to the truck stop for our 10-year clan reunion. Every time he comes in town, I remember the one time he came out to eat with us at the truck stop. He's like, "Yo, out here having a clan meeting." He's hilarious. I keep in touch with him
Yes.
about every other day on Facebook. I'm poking him about Obama because he's still a disciple. I'm like, dude, the election was back in 2016, right?
Hey, no, I got a kick out of. I was watching, and don't make fun of me because my dad and Jer got me watching it. But Boston Legal with William Shatner, and how what's his name, the guy
Look at
from.
me, I ain't watched the show.
Oh no, but the guy who was the voice of Ultron.
You really got me there. I'm closet geek that likes guns. I'm not like closet geek that masturbates to toys.
Well, he was the guy who voiced Ultron. He was in the original Stargate movie. Played Daniel Jackson in the original movie.
I thought that was still the Daniel Jackson. You're telling me that was a different one?
Yeah,
For
in the
entire
movie,
series?
in the movie,
Really?
in the movie to the series, none. I don't think any. I think there was only side characters.
I do remember the
character.
movie had a different main guy than the TV show.
Yeah, I remember it being Kurt Russell for the movie for the Major or whatever his name was. And who was the hot blonde chick? Wasn't she in there?
Oh, no, it was James Spader. That was
Okay.
yeah,
Now
James
you're talking
Spader.
about. He's been a bunch of shit.
Yeah. But he's in whatever. He's sitting here going off about how you can't vote for McCain and you got all these problems and this, that, and the other and yada yada yada, and you should vote for Obama. And I watched that episode. I walked into Jared and said, "How did that work out for him?" And Jared just started losing it. Yeah, everything that he went through was yeah, it'll be better for this, it'll be better for that, and negative.
You can't just go out and press a switch and make everything work again. The economy's sunk and we'll just never get it back. Abracadabra, bitch.
Abracapocus.
But he's taking credit for all of it.
Right? He's like, I'll
mean,
tell you that you could never do it, but by God, you
It was
did it.
only
It's all
Bush's
my
fault the entire time he was in office. Now it's his fault since he's gone. And the reason it happened is because he's gone.
Yeah. He was like,
Hey,
like,
hey, crowd, just so you know, a political organizer may not have the best intentions of your pocketbook. Just so y'all
community organizer. And he was like, he doesn't have the political experience. You were a political organizer or a community organizer.
know.
Well, here's the thing: politicians now consider basically a career.
Yep.
It shouldn't be.
Here's the thing, though.
Crap! I have to serve my 4 years. I guess it should be viewed like jury duty.
Well, here's the thing, though. Politician means you're in the government. What's the government's job? To spend money.
Screw you.
They don't make it; they spend it.
I know. I'm a federal employee. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying anything bad about the Veterans Health Administration at this point in time.
Yeah. No,
I'm
I'm just
misrepresenting the facts at all.
I'm just saying, if you're a career politician, you've been in politics your whole life, that means your job has been to spend other people's money.
And coerce them into more.
Exactly. It's you don't
Like
ever do anything to make it. You just take it.
The Hoosier State. Hey, I don't understand how after Mitch Daniels got out of office, the next two decided that infrastructure was a bad idea, but taxation was better. How can you be called the crossroads of America looking like Beirut?
Yeah.
It's not the crossroads of America. It's the potholes of America.
Oh, my God. Why can't, if you're coming across 70, and if you're coming from west to east, right before you get to the split, where you head north for a little bit, that is the worst section, and it's been that way for as long as I've been on the road. It's like, how the hell can this road be around at least 30 years that I know of and still be shit?
Well,
I
what
do
was
a
it,
lot
5
of
years ago they had that whole hyperfix
Yeah.
for that stretch.
I went ahead
And it's back to the potholes are insane.
I've been phone shaming the department. I've been calling the road department in Indianapolis. I'm like, I know you can't fix it unless it's broken, but there's a pothole down here the size of a Freightliner, and I'm going to have to send you a bill this time. And they're like, what? And then the next week, turn around and they're fixed. I do that with the county highway departments up in Grant County, over here in Madison, over in Delaware. One day, me and Mandy were driving to Muncie, and I said, that stretch from the county line to 69 is ridiculous.
Because nobody wants to take care of it.
Well,
Madison County can't take care of it, and Delaware, once you hit 69, they don't claim anything.
It's been repaved.
Well, yeah, because of
But they filled the potholes
But for the
before
longest
me
time
and
it
Mandy
wasn't,
came
yeah.
home from Muncie. I called them going to Muncie, and I said, look, I know you can't fix it unless it's broke. I'm just calling to let you know that little stretch between McGalliard, or between county line and 69, yeah, it's bad. I'm going to have to go ahead and send you guys a bill next time I go to Muncie. And before we left town, they had it patched. I was like, wow.
Well, the like during the winter is especially because nobody will plow it. The plows, Delaware County stops at 69. Madison County stops at county line.
And
I was told at one time that Madison County said, look, we'll take care of it, but you're going to give us the tax base for these houses. And they said, oh, no, we can't do that.
Right? So, because they'll...
What I found out was that the county is responsible from the bridge to the county line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the city of Muncie is responsible from the bridge to Muncie.
Right, but the funny thing is
Well,
they
332 is a
voted.
highway, so that should be state responsibility.
But the city fixes it.
They voted to merge, and now the city is the one who's responsible all for that. So while the county is responsible for it, it's all done out of the city anyway.
Right.
Just like Anderson wants to merge Anderson into Madison County, or Madison County into Anderson, and just take, since it's the seat of it anyway. And it's like, no, did you see what Delaware County? If it's not Muncie, Delaware County doesn't do crap.
And it's not a good deal for the taxpayers.
No.
And nobody wants to have an Anderson address.
I'm in Edgewood, damn it.
I'm not an Anderson. I'm just in Anderson schools. I had to argue with one of the teachers about our placement.
But you're
of our
in
kids
Richland Township, right?
I am in Richland Township, which is south of McGalliard. So it's in Anderson School District.
But you're an Ellick address,
I am.
like me.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
I did see something about the schools, actually. They said that Alexandria
Bedbugs.
was the only Madison County school that brought their I-STEP scores up.
I thought I-STEP was going the way of the dodo, and they had
It is. They're
is.
changing it to something
Eventually,
else next year. This was
They
the
just-
last year for
They
it.
They actually have to find a different test to
They had
teach
a replacement test that they couldn't open up for like 2 years straight, and they paid like $500 million for it. I want that money back.
Right.
It's kind of like that Obamacare portal that cost $965 trillion or whatever.
for the Canadian company to take care of.
the Obama's best buddies.
The one is like, if you're going to do something, you outsource to another country.
Well, I guess that's how they got those Chinese chips into our Department of Defense computers. Did you hear about that catastrophe?
Huh.
Yeah, we've got Chinese bugs and chips planted in all of our IT in the federal government right now.
Nice.
And that was because a lot of that stuff was outsourced during the last administration.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why foreign countries are spying on us. Oh, let's give them the contract to do our internal defense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
France does that.
How much did they pay for that house in Washington, D.C., by the way?
Which one?
The Obama's newest one they bought in D.C.
It was like 1.4 million was just the property value.
And what's the salary for a president?
400,000.
So
You can pay it off in 3 years.
I can say in 8
Well, no,
years.
he walked in.
Well, I know
Not quite a millionaire, and he came out a multi-millionaire.
and I
Just
know
saying,
that
follow
one,
Just being a
money.
president.
like
Yeah.
the first month he was out of office, he was hanging on the yacht with Elon Musk. So I know him and Elon had all their gay sex, and he got half of his money because apparently him and Obama's wife got divorced, and then him and Elon Musk were married for a little bit. You guys didn't hear about that, right? I saw pictures of Bammy on the yacht decompressing after he got out of the office. I was like, what's he decompressing from? Dude got like 2 gray hairs in 8 years.
That fucking shoulders from golf.
But Trump golfs more than Obama ever did. Well, he's getting his job done, too. That's a reward system.
He's learning. You know, everybody told him he has to make deals. You have to go play golf.
It's the truth.
Like at least he's not
You know how
flying.
many,
At
you know
least
how
he's
many
not flying.
multi-million-dollar deals are done on a golf course? Honestly.
At
You
least
know,
he's,
I want to change that business model to where it's changed over around the sporting clays down at Indiana Gun Club. I think Guy Relford's got it figured out.
There you
I
go.
want to do my business over around the sporting clays.
I can understand that, too, but there is a shitload of money exchanging hands because of a golf course.
Well, yeah. But just imagine how many gun ranges we could have in place of a golf course. Just one golf course.
And they don't take as much room.
Not as much room, a little bit quieter. Mandatory suppressors on the range. So you don't have to get a tax stamp, you just borrow ours for the day. That'd be pretty sweet. What's that? Well, it's a lot quieter than that damn driving range.
It's a loud-ass sprinkler. That's what you're hearing.
Driving range is relegated to like the Top Golf over there, where it's just.
Did we even say what the hell we're drinking now?
I don't know.
Wasn't it the Harry Kugel?
Leinenkugel?
the Harry
Barry Shandy.
the Harry Kegels.
It's got some little writing down below it, but I can't read this shit for no more. I need reading glasses.
It
Weiss beer
says-
brewed with honey and blackberry juice and natural flavors.
And the natural flavors. Yeah, if my wife was listening to this right now, I'd make a joke about cherry juice right about now. But, she's not listening, so I just won't embarrass her.
That's okay. We have to step away again.
Oh, red is?
Yeah, we're doing the every half hour.
Oh, okay.
It goes pretty quick if you're breaking on the halves.
Yeah, no shit.
But
Breaking on the halves.
we will talk to you. I gotta
We'll
catch
be back
back
in a
up.
minute.
Yeah, after these messages and a song. So we'll be back.
You're listening to the Man Cave right here on Geek Public Radio with your hosts, Pat Brooks and Bill Maddox. You can find out more by checking out the Facebook page, facebook.com/GPR The Man Cave. And now, our hosts, Pat and Bill.
Okay, I guess we're back with no Pat and Bill still.
Nope.
And fortunately, my life has not been a vehicular tragedy like Pat's, so I can say I've got that going for me. Poor Pat and his vehicular tragedy life.
Which is amazing because you are a horrible driver.
Thank you very much.
I've rode with you before. I prefer to drive instead of riding with you.
Oh, no thanks. I'll walk.
Well, I'm glad you drove in the Ford the other day then. Because I was a little scared with you. It's not as bad as when my wife drives, though. My wife told me that she actually honked the other day at somebody that was doing dumb shit in front of her. I was like, oh, so you still exist. I'm glad. She usually just buries herself in the phone in the passenger seat and kind of hides.
My wife's an angry driver.
Well, as long as she's not burying her head in the phone while she drives.
I see that all the time.
No, I see that. I'd be walking down the main street here with the detours and everything, and it's like it's like head in phone buried, and like not even paying attention that like there's a human being walking right next to the car.
What was scary to me the other day going around the detour, Bill, was I was pulling up to 9, where it dumps out by that Humphreys. And there was a triaxle dump truck loaded, come running around the corner doing about 50 into my lane. I honked on my horn, flipped him off, told him he was everything but a really nice person. That was like the first road rage incident I've had in like almost 8 hours that day. So
you made it a whole 8 hours.
that's because I was at home and I wasn't driving.
Yeah, me and Chetty went to Muncie last week. Had to get tires for a car, and we was coming back, and he's like, "Man, back when I was doing this, they wouldn't let us leave that road because they got that dip in the road." I said, "Yeti," I said, "think about it. They told them to leave it like that on purpose."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "You think?" I said,
"Yeah."
It slows everybody down.
In a school zone.
In a school zone. I said, "You've got a detour going through a school zone." Yeah, they're going to tell them.
I don't have a detour going through the school zone. I go through the trailer park.
You go through the other way.
I go through the trailer park, and it dumps me out right there in front of Vic's Hardware. I take the one through the trees.
Yeah.
And they give me crappy looks going through the trailer park. So, this is a private drive. They're like, no, it's not a private drive. This is a trailer park. You have nothing private here.
Yeah.
No, like
if you go just past the trailer park and cut that road over, it takes you over to 6th Street again.
But it dumps me out too far to go back to Dollar General.
True.
I want to go to Dollar General. And if I go all the way down to Dollar General, I don't want to drive back up around town just to go back out the other way. And a lot of times lately, I've been taking 1,000 on out the range line to go home.
Yeah.
Because it dumps me over there on the other side, and I don't have to worry about getting hit by a county sheriff doing 56 or something like that. I can do 48 with my cruise control and not worry about seeing a county sheriff.
No, I know 69. We've been coming up the last couple of weeks, and 2 nights in a row there was two state cops out there sitting in a little median area that they've got left now. And 75 is flying now on 69. Mm-hmm. Before you run 75 and if you sit in the middle lane at 75 mile an hour, you're getting passed on both sides. When they first really opened up the 3 lanes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're always sitting there right north of 116th. Once you go around the bend, there's always somebody sitting there.
But yeah, that's because people were running 80. I know 85 had to have been.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
I don't understand why we just don't open it up for, like,
Autobahn
no speed
style?
Yeah, unless it's weather related. Be like, the only reason you need to do the speed limit is if it's snowing or it's icy.
Because people don't know how to drive.
Oh, I know. I mean, every day I drive, there are people in the left lane doing 2 miles an hour.
Right? No staring at...
A lot of times you can tell when they're doing this, so I'm staring
Brian
at my
is
phone,
staring
by the
at
way.
his phone for the listeners out there.
Because they suddenly go from 75 to 65. I'm out in the fast lane, they're passing everybody, and all the next thing you know, the whole middle lane, 20 cars passing. You get up next to them, they're doing this. It's like, well, there's a reason they slowed down 10 mile an hour.
Dude, I watched one guy reading the newspaper while he was driving down 69.
They actually had a newspaper open up in front of him. I've seen that.
And it's like... Jesus.
Watched one guy on 465. He went so far. This is before smartphone. I mean, they had cell phones. But this guy actually built a pedestal on his steering wheel to hold his book. No shit. The book sat right there, and he's sitting there reading it, and he flipped the page, and every once in a while he'd look up, and he'd read it. But he actually had a little thing built on his steering wheel to hold a book.
Shrapnel on an airbag. I love natural selection.
Oh, it's like they keep talking about, you see all these people put their feet up on the dash on the
I can't
passenger
wait
side.
until those feet are wrapped around their
Or
ears.
out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, but they put them up on the dash, and it's like, you realize how fast that airbag comes out?
It's going to hurt way worse than your first time in bed. Way worse.
They actually put a dummy in one of the
Crash test dummy.
Sindavers, where it was like a crash test dummy, but it had like actual bone and whatnot. Feet up on the dash and whatnot, and it just peeled their legs back. And you just watch the ankles just go.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait until that happens often enough that people don't do it anymore.
Yeah, it'll never happen. You'd think that there's
Bill-
enough wrecks from Texans they quit doing that, but
Well, it's like obesity in McDonald's.
yeah.
You know, sometimes it's better to just die while driving and text messaging than it is to pay attention. Don't pay attention to the road, please. I mean, you're on it in a vehicle that can kill you or other people. Please don't pay attention.
I'm driving a ton of metal and not paying a bit of fucking attention but my phone.
My mother-in-law was in the front seat, and she did a whole bunch of shitting when we were coming back from Idlejord one day. Mandy was laying down in the back because we didn't have enough extra seats to bring her mom home with us, so she laid down in the back. And this semi was playing on his damn phone. Had a piggyback shorts, 2 short trailers, and the piggybacks were literally leaning over into our lane on the top.
Oh, wow.
Doing the opposite of what the curve was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Twice. And I was like, see that? And my mother-in-law was like, yeah, what? I was like, that would have gotten me yelled at for paying attention to that lane. So I'm glad you're up here tonight.
Speaking of phones.
You getting bombed on your phone now?
Speaking of phones.
I'm not popular anymore, so
I make sure I used to have a little thing up for the Saturday night show. Every time a phone goes off, you have to put money in a bucket.
I went on sick leave.
I don't have anything on my phone, but I did tonight. That was just my wife.
I went on sick leave for my knee from the prison and told everybody on Facebook, I'm going to a prepaid phone so it doesn't cost me too much money while I'm off.
And everybody decided to text you.
It was $195 for that prepaid phone that week.
Because everybody decided to text you?
They blew me up. I'm like, okay.
Like, hey!
Hey, Mick, good to see you. I hope you're doing okay. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, we finally went to unlimited data on our phones because of her new job.
Straight Talk's doing good with unlimited for me.
We've got AT&T, had it forever, but God, it's expensive. Well, I've got...
You probably got 35 people on your plan, though, Brian.
I got 7. I got 7 phones.
So
I'm on the family plan. I think I'm in the small business right now.
We're not doing too bad on the Sprint unlimited, and we have 5 phones on it. So I mean, it's not doing too bad. Now, if I could just pay off the phone that broke, then the bill would go down.
Money, huh?
Mine's good for an upgrade, but hell, it still functions.
It broke.
Mine's an S3, Samsung S3.
I think mine's a 5 or a 6.
Well, I got my wife's after mine went down, and she's playing with a Moto something really fancy.
Yeah,
it's got a backup battery that lasts for like 7 weeks on it.
I think she's got like the S. I don't know what the hell she's got. She had a Note for a while. The fucking thing was a tablet you carried around. I don't call it a phone. Call it what it is.
Yeah, it was a.
My wife's pockets aren't big enough for her phone.
Yeah. Yeah, we passed some lady today. I think it was my kid looked at me. I can't remember. It might have Sherry or Brittany, but they was talking on the phone. I was like, that's not surprising. No, it was Deanna. And Deanna goes, that wasn't a phone, Dad. She was holding a tablet up to her head.
My kids do that when they Skype with their cousins in Indy. I really like that. Sorts out the downtime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind traveling to Indianapolis, but I hate driving home. And the kids are pissed out, tired after they get home, and then you got to carry them to bed. And
they're all just like
yeah,
laying there like
car comas.
Now, when my kids went over to Germany, we used it's called WhatsApp, and it seemed like it worked fine, but it was another one where you could video chat on it, and it was free, so because it just works on Wi-Fi. But yeah, to make a phone call from Germany to the United States, you got to do all kinds of crazy shit to get.
I remember I had like $3,000 phone bills for Germany for about a year. Me and this girl named Heike that I met in Florida, well, me and Bill were on vacation down there. Her and I were on the phone quite a bit. She's like, you could have bought like 28 plane tickets with all that money you spend on the phone. I was like, well, yeah, but you just keep forgetting to hang up. So, sorry.
There's another called Viber.
Viber?
That's free text and whatnot. That's
yeah, I've used that to talk or to text Brent when he was on deployment.
When one of the filmmaking buddies was in like South Korea, that was like that's the only way we'd text and talk back and forth. It acted just like thing, but it was just free.
Oh yeah, you just as long as you was connected to Wi-Fi, you was good.
Mm-hmm.
Cisco WebEx has a lot of student and military applications that you can download for free too, and it's like Skype, but it's encrypted. I don't know if you guys knew about Cisco WebEx, but they're a nice product.
I knew Cisco, but I didn't know about WebEx. Now,
Cisco
Cisco's
WebEx is their like online Skype, so that you can pull that up, and then you can.
Now,
if you're in the
Cisco
military,
an operating system or just a networking system?
a little bit of both.
That's what I thought.
You don't have to download a lot of proprietary hardware to use the system, though, because it's all on the link.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like about Cisco WebEx. It doesn't ask you to download like 1 terabyte of data to use their operating system. It's all operated through the link. So you don't have to have a lot of stuff left on your computer when you're done talking. And it's all encrypted through the cloud, so it's really nice.
Pretty good for the guy that came out with the thong song,
Yeah, Cisco. Song. Wonder what's made him more money.
The thong.
Probably computer stuff.
Probably computer stuff. Well, that's like when they had them terrorists, supposedly they couldn't unlock the phone, and Mancave come out, and he said, of course they'll never unlock it. He said, because the FBI is still stuck on an image. They hire these kids wearing suits and looking all fancy. He said, I'm hiring a kid with a purple mohawk and wants to sleep all damn day.
Right.
He said, I'm hiring hackers.
Yeah, but like that guy is crazy on a stick. Like he'll come out and say whatever. Like he's said a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, he is nuts.
That he is
that was
crazy.
the most truthful thing I'd heard. It's like as long as you got somebody that's trying to. He said you ain't gonna unlock that phone by following the rules.
No. And that's what I couldn't stand about working at the prison. The inmates could sit there and swap SIM cards all day with fecal matter all over them and get them into the next phone. And we weren't even allowed to answer the phone when their girlfriend was calling us. Hey, we got 50 new iPhones in the prison the other day, and we used to tick mark the batteries just to keep track of how many times they went back in circulation from evidence. I'll never forget that. I thought politics was shady. No, corrections is really shady.
Oh, like what somebody put the other day is like that when the text went off on every phone, the presidential thing.
Found all of the phones.
How many
Found
phones?
all the phones in the prison.
Yeah, how many phones do you think you got found that day?
Not very many of them, because they're usually all muffled by butt cheeks.
Yeah.
They're either in a drop bag off the nut sack, or they're stuffed up in somebody's hind end in their suitcase. Their prison suitcase.
Their prison.
That just seems like a really bad thing. I couldn't imagine that.
As soon as it gets past the ring of the hind end, it's in.
Got to get past the muscle.
Hey, and what I found out that there was this one guy in this one housing unit that could hold 6 at a time.
Wow.
6, and he got paid to be the stash.
Wow.
What really
And we made fun of Eddie for being the ass of holding.
Yeah.
What really made me sad was my son, one of the only ladies to show up for my son's baby shower before he was born. The lady got fired 2 years later for trafficking, fell in love with a gangbanger, and had cell phones shoved up in her fat roll. And she was a sweet old lady, had like 15 years with the state. I'm just like, man, you were in my house. Oh.
Yep. It's amazing how many of them get in there and fall in love.
Sweet words from an inmate that's got herpes gonosyphilis.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make any sense.
That's like my cousin's ex-wife. My cousin, my wife, but there's like, yeah, she just got a job. I don't know, it was Newcastle or where it was at. And I said, that's the last place she needs to go. And they're like, what? And I was like, she's going to go and fall in love. I said, she'll fall for somebody's bullshit. Within a year, yep, she done fell in love with a fucking chomo.
Nice.
Now they're divorced.
I'm going to quit my job.
She's turned the kids against him. The kids hate him now.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a piece of shit.
And she's in love with a chomo at the job?
No, she got fired. She got caught.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, she got caught, but...
Yeah, I couldn't imagine dealing with that.
But I looked at my wife and said, that's the last job. She doesn't need to be there at all. She's like, what do you mean? I said, she'll fall in love.
Easily manipulated.
Yeah. Yep.
My cousin has a thing for hard cases now that she's done dealing with 700-pounders that can't wipe their own ass.
Nice.
And I keep running background checks for her through mycase.in.gov.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, this one's got a rap sheet. Why don't you just back off of this a little bit? She's like, oh, I want to bring this one out so you can get a feel for him. I said, you told me he's got a record. I don't want felons at my house.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all good. None of them there, please.
Yeah. I don't want anybody,
But he's rehabilitated.
scouting my house.
Yeah, no reason that anybody needs to be out there unless I say so. Even police. Did you hear me, CIA guy?
We had a bunch of people at my house on the 4th.
I bet you did.
We had 4 or 5 different cops before the time it was done with.
They came out just to watch.
They stuck around to watch for a while.
As long as they're going up in the air high enough, what can they do, right?
Yeah, well, one of them, he showed up and he said that we had till, 11 o'clock, I think is what they told us.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hell, we'll have it done by then. He said, you know what the funny thing is? Like, what's that? And he said, the one that called in that says it's waking up her teething baby. I said, her 2 older kids are on the front porch watching the fireworks. I was like,
yeah, they are.
And then somebody called in complaining, and I think it was actually from an empty lot, supposedly, the address they gave. It was just stupid. And he's like, oh, there's stuff hitting our house.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Wait until you feel the dead meat hitting there from the explosions in the air.
The cop went down to the edge of the road, and he sat there while we set 4 or 5 of the bigger ones off.
Mm-hmm.
He said, nothing ever hit my car. He said, so he just sat there for a while and watched some more.
They have a 50-foot ramparts around the shooting range at Miami Correctional.
Mm-hmm.
The shooting range has 50-foot tall walls, and it's aimed at the facility.
Mm-hmm.
And there were maintenance men going and picking up the bullets and putting them on top of the housing units just to be peckerheads about it. They're like, we're still finding bullets over here. There's no way. 50-foot ramparts.
You know how bad of a... It'd be like...
Yeah, nobody was doing that.
Now, see, when I worked at CIF, and to do the practice with the gas guns and stuff like that, we had to go down. I think we went to.
It was the old state police station on the corner.
No, we wasn't shooting the canisters off there. We actually had to go to another facility to do that.
Okay.
They used to do it there at Pendleton, except for somebody picked a really bad spot and the wind was blowing just right, and the next thing you know, they're gassing the fucking residents.
Right.
So they had to stop at Pendleton. I think after that they had to go down to the.
We had to go to the farm down to Putnam Valley.
Yep, that's where we went.
That's it was when I was on E Squad. We had to go down there a lot. All of our gas training.
Yep, all gas training had to go to Putnam because at Pendleton the wind caught it just perfect that one day, and it took it into.
We did all our research across the street where the old state police post was, though, and then they demolished that.
Yeah, now it's
a speedway.
Yep.
We had a good time doing that over there, though, because there was like a residence over there, and everybody was complaining about shrapnel from the gas guns and boo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah, they still had the firing range at Pendleton behind the old state police post, but for anything for gas, they had to go to Putnamville.
Now they got one down the hill aimed at CIC on the back end.
Is that where it's at?
Yeah.
I wonder where they moved it to.
It's the access way towards the farm from Pendleton by the level 1.
Did you ever go back here and see the old gravestone?
Mm-hmm.
The guy, and they believe it was his daughter. They believe it was some of the first settlers in Indiana, and they was probably killed by Indians.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you got ever taken over there or not.
Down there in the bottom of the hills, yeah.
Yeah, you go around CIC, and you go around another bend, and then you go back a road for a ways. And yeah, I didn't know if you knew about that or not.
My favorite story from there was how the new people in the yard or whatever, as they're walking around doing whatever, like you hear the range fire off, and everybody hit dirt. Like the new people were just like get up, get off the floor.
They actually had a guy shot at CIC.
Yeah,
some kid. I actually read the report. I found it in the computer. They had any, but
the kid that was holding hostages and got shot. No.
No, this guy was walking down the walks. Was you ever in CIC?
I know how it's set up, yeah.
He was walking down one of the walks back to one of the units. I can't remember what. But all of a sudden he falls over. And he starts screaming. And he was a drama queen anyway. And he's like, "What? Get your ass up." And they get over and they look down and his tennis shoes just red. And they start looking and come to find out some kid was outside the facility over in one of the wooded areas. And
dropped a bullet on him.
yeah, he just shot and managed to make it through the trees, through the 2 fences, through the Constantine wire, everywhere, and got that guy right in the foot. That's why if you shoot or hunt state property at Pendleton, you can only use a bow.
Right. I'm pretty sure bow's just as lethal, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it won't carry that far.
I'd say if you can put an arrow through that fence, through both fences.
Yeah, you're a Rambo.
They had 2 fences up there at Miami, and they had skunks and possums and cats and dogs running through the yard all day.
Yep.
And those 2 fences were supposedly electrified, and we supposedly had vibration sensors, and they had to go reset the sensors in between the fences all the time. I remember when we used to go out there with the waste baskets, though. We'd take the plastic hard baskets and go skunk hunting on the yard.
Okay. Sounds like somebody needs some money. So it sounds like we need to be back again in a minute.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Shetty, I'm on the way to see you tomorrow, baby. Shave that back end.
On that note, we'll be back after these
Find
messages.
enough hair back here to donate it for a wig.
That was way too much information.
Right? We'll be back after these messages.
You're listening to the Man Cave right here on Geek Public Radio with your hosts, Pat Brooks and Bill Maddox. You can find out more by checking out the Facebook page, facebook.com/GPR The Man Cave. And now, our hosts, Pat and Bill.
We're talking about drinking Old Smokey moonshine.
Yeah, oatmeal cookie. If you ever get a chance, grab it.
Our good buddy Mr. Woodside's provided a hit of that.
Yeah, this is
I'm going to beg off of this one because it looks potent. And my liver's so messed up from psychotropics from the VA that I can't even do this anymore.
Strawberry mango margarita.
It's got a real nice fruity
margarita.
taste to it. It's 40 proof, so it's nothing too heavy.
I can get messed up on the 15% Armorados that I bought for my wife.
This is definitely a sneaky one, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I can't say nothing because I'll drink a fifth of 101 proof rum.
Just a fifth?
Well, and not be touched like I would if I drank 3 beers.
I'm glad I went the psychotropic route because I definitely my alcoholism ceased. I'm a 3-beer drunk now.
I was telling him, it's weird. Like, I drink beer, and just a few beers, and I'm like, ooh, okay. I can drink rum all day long.
My old party favorite from high school.
and just be fine.
Captain Morgan rum and mint chocolate chip ice cream. There's a million people that got drunk on that at our parties. I came up with the bright idea sitting at Bill's brother Pat's house, Pat Hennigan, because Pat was our party house for a while, and I was like, let's make a Captain Morgan rum float, and it was coined there, and I think everybody at that party had it, and it was a regular party favorite after that, until we stopped using the Winnebago to take everybody to Waffle House. If the Winnebago is a rockin', don't come a knockin'.
I remember a New Year's Eve party at the haunted house. I think it was New Year's Eve.
Or was it, if you saw the antenna wiggle, you knew something was going on?
If the antenna's wiggling, somebody's a jiggling. Yeah, I think that was probably the most awkward ride I'd ever had to Waffle House, though. There are some people that have insatiable taste.
There is that.
Thanks for driving us there, Bill. Thank you. All 20 drunk teenagers.
Yay. We never made it to Waffle House. We was always at the highway. Make it to Highway Cafe.
That's about as far as you make it. It's like, and we're here. Fuck it.
And we're here. And my
Well,
brother
we
got his
Winnebago.
finger stuck in a coffee mug that day. I never laughed so hard in my damn life. Waitress is out there, and I think they tried everything to get his finger out, but fucking bacon grease. They tried soap and everything.
He got it stuck in a coffee mug.
Jimmy got his finger stuck in a coffee mug. Ask him about it next time you see him.
I will.
It's the only Jimmy can get his finger stuck in a coffee mug.
Well, Jimmy's got some pretty good stories. Me and him had some fun. He's had a lot of fun. Him and the state of Florida had some fun. He's got some stories.
I think he got kicked out of spring break.
Yeah, he got kicked out of Florida for life. But he keeps going back there on vacation. I'm proud of him. He's like, yeah, screw you, Florida. You didn't keep my picture.
You don't know me.
I was friends in college at Vincennes with a guy that was, the way the guy put it, he was too dumb to go to Texas A&M, so they had to send him to Vincennes for a year.
Nice.
Full ride scholarship football.
Right?
Yeah, he's having a party and the cops show up, and he's thinking he's getting ready to lose his scholarship. The cops just want him to turn down the radio. He didn't know that at the time, so Jimmy had to replace the fucking privacy fence the guy ran through.
Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. That's amazing what a very devout One Direction body can do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm impressed with some human leveling. What would you call it? A steamroller. Human steamroller.
Human steamroller, yep. Because this guy went straight through the fence.
I've seen some amazing things that people are
Suppose it
capable
like the
of.
cartoon where you got the body outlined in the fence.
Yeah.
Just a whole panel between 4x4s is missing. That's amazing.
But yeah, the finger stuck in the coffee mug. And now he's a school bus driver, you poor fools.
And he has to play with knobs and steering wheels and pedals all at the same time.
It's funny, though, because I'll be driving through town or something like that, and Jim will be in the school bus, and every time he sees me, he grabs the train horns. So someone's getting the shit scared out of him every time he sees me.
Now, I'm sure that's probably not legal to have a train horn, right?
I don't know if it is, but he put them on there. It's his
imagine it
bus.
is.
He
As
said
long as it's loud enough to be heard, you can have any kind of signaling device on there.
I know he says he ain't got no problem with the kids coming out. He said,
Wake up!
he said if that kid's sick, he said the parents waiting outside tell him, no, keep going. They're sick today.
Don't blow the damn horn.
We leave messages on the trash can.
Oh,
If our kids are down, like if I have to keep them home. But now that they're both on the same bus, usually one of them's going and one of them's not if it's a day like that.
Yep.
But I've before left messages on trash cans. Hey, both kids are down.
Yep.
They're not going today if they don't answer their text message. And Mr. Waymeyer was a guy that didn't have a cell phone, so
Yep. So you had to leave something.
I wasn't going to sit out in the bad weather just waiting on him to drive by.
No. Hell no. I was going to say, there's only been, well, I guess I've got 4 kids, but I think there's only been a couple times where we've had to call them all in at one time. And that was, I think, after Deanna was already out of high school. But it's been the last couple of years, it seems like there's that flu that comes in that lasts for about 24 to 48 hours.
Right?
And
It rolls through them all.
gets through them. Sometimes it'll be 2 of them one day and 1 the next. Or there's only been once or twice where everybody got hit all at once.
I had to go pick up my boy the other day. He passed out in the breakfast line. ACS has free breakfasts and lunches now.
Mm-hmm.
He passed out. They said he was shaking when he fell down and after he landed. And he passed out so much that he doesn't remember bumping his chin. He didn't have any voluntary catch reflex.
Oh, wow.
So he was
out
of it.
Yeah, he was.
And they sent him off for testing. We're supposed to go to Riley November 12th for him, but they don't know what's wrong. And that's spooky.
Yeah,
I'm
it
like,
is.
Because that was the first time that's ever happened. And his pediatrician's like, a 7-year-old doesn't just pass out like that without a voluntary catch reflex for no reason. There's something else going on.
Yeah.
So they sent him in for the EEG, the EKG. We did a CT scan already, and we're waiting on MRI.
So he's had all the letters done?
Yeah, he's getting all the dots, the I's dotted and the T's crossed right now, but scary stuff, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had a 1-year-old had to go to Riley for heart tests and stuff like that, and it's not knowing what the hell's going to happen, but Riley's the best place to go. I mean,
Yeah, take your kids and get them cared for. I don't ever remember having a moment in my life or my childhood where I was blacked out, and my son says he doesn't remember any of it.
Anything. It's just nothing. No recollection
Fuzzy from holding the
whatsoever.
tray until he woke up on the floor.
Oh, wow.
There's nothing there.
But it wasn't a seizure.
Well, that's what they were thinking, but the EEG said he doesn't have seizures. He's not epileptic.
Okay.
And we kept his little butt up for the whole 8 hours before the test. We tried to make him sleep until like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I was going to start the shift, and then my wife was going to take him to work, and he got up at 9, and so me and him went and looked at the stars until 2:30 in the morning, and then Mandy took over, and he was not a happy camper during the test, but he was definitely tired like he was supposed to, and nothing.
No strange blood sugars, no
epilepsies.
nothing.
Just a random seizure.
Wow.
That's been filling up the side of my brain that goes to all the anxiety I could have.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't even feel anxious over my 3,000 word report that I turned in the other day because my kids got me more boogered up than that whole testing online or any of the other crap they're doing to me at Ball State this last semester.
Now, see, my oldest, she'd passed out at work once. She'd passed out a couple times at the apartment, and they've got her on some pill now, and I can't remember what they finally think they figured out what it was. And, of course, my oldest, I said, hell, if anybody knows her, I adopted her. Because I've raised her since she was 2. But she talked to her other half-sister who has the same dad. Because Angie put something on Facebook saying something about it. So Malia automatically called her and said, yeah, it's this and this. She goes, I'm on this medicine too because I've got the exact same thing. So it's something hereditary from sperm donors.
What I've been reading about that really bothers me is the herbicide and the pesticide toxicity.
Yeah,
and all of the processed food from like McDonald's and stuff. Me and Mandy cut back eating out a lot, but kids have a residual impact, and those things are neurotoxins.
The shit. What is it? Roundup's now showing up in the oats.
It's showing up in breast milk. Women feeding their babies breast milk have Roundup in it. But I'm just worried about the neurotoxicity levels because there is no other reason that my kid passed the shit out and twitched like an epileptic. They don't have any good reasons.
No.
And we're just dumping neurotoxins into our food chain like it's going out of style.
Well, how the hell can we go from eating grains for 2,000 years and all of a sudden everybody becomes allergic to gluten?
It's not the gluten.
It's something else.
There are a lot of people that if you get out of the wheat sensitivity issue and go towards any grain, almost all the grains are processed the same way. They have a drying additive. They have all the herbicides. That's why I refuse to spray my orchard. You can't wipe the poison off after it gets on.
No, it's there.
It's there for a long time. Scares the crap out of me. And if my son's little seizure was a part of that, I wish I could find an attorney that wanted to take that case.
None of them will.
Well,
Santo's got too much money.
It's $165 million award for this last one.
Was it?
Yeah, and that was against Monsanto.
Yeah, but they're fighting like mad. You think he'll ever see it?
Doesn't matter. He's going to get a portion of it before he dies.
Yeah.
As long as he gets a portion of it, and they
And
were
that
already
was-
found at fault. That was just last year.
Cancer caused by
Roundup.
herbicides. Yeah. I don't know. It was a Facebook thing, but I guess it's been wiped now. But Monsanto actually convinced somebody to pass a law to where people couldn't sue Monsanto.
That's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, and it actually almost made it through, and somebody finally looked at it and said, no, this shit ain't gonna fly."
2013, under the last administration. I was watching that one pretty hard.
Yeah.
Talked about no liability, and they wanted to pretty much have a United States monopoly.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me because they just got nailed with that, and then they got bought by Bayer. Hey, guess what? Bayer Chemicals provided all of the gas for every one of the camps in Germany.
They also invented heroin. But,
Pretty good stuff there.
Oh, yeah. They got a really great track record. Well, politicians talking about how greedy, stupid, whatever you want to call it, politicians are.
Greedy's a good word.
The opioid crisis, they was actually starting to crack down on it because they were starting to file suits against the distributors.
The distributors, the doctors, and the drug companies.
Well, the distributors was supposed to report any abnormally large orders.
Right.
Best case is a little bitty town in West Virginia that had a pharmacy in it and a population of like 3,000 or something like that. In like 3 years' time, they went through 1 million pills.
3,000 people.
Yeah, it should have been reported, but it never was. They found some senator or Congress, somebody in, I think it was New York.
Political chain of command.
In New York, and handed him this bill and said, this is going to help the opioid crisis. So he starts telling all the people, yeah, this is going to help the opioid, this is going to fight, and this is going to... No, it did nothing for the opioid crisis. When you actually read through it, you found out that it made it impossible for the federal government or anybody to prosecute...
To sue the manufacturers.
The distributors.
Right.
That guy just... They told him what it was, so he went out screaming what it was and never read the thing, and they passed it.
Sounds like that omnibus healthcare bill.
It's greed.
We have to pass it to know what's in it.
Yeah.
I can't read it until we say it's okay, even though we can't say it's okay because we haven't read it. I'm almost used up on that logic cycle now. I lost a friend of mine that lives in Summitville, and she's a very talented person, but I just made a random comment, and she came swinging at me on Facebook like I'd stuck her in the gut with a butcher knife, and I just made one comment because she was upset about the sexism going on in Madison Grant. Her daughter can't wear leggings and sports bras, but the boys that are participating in sports can run around in shorts without a shirt. And I just said, hey, the liberals make the rules right now. Why aren't you mad at the people that are making the rules? And she ended up unfriending me over that, and I was like, wow, can't believe that the people that were making the rules that said the boys could pee in a girl's bathroom are upset about people pushing the button going the other way trying to get some common sense.
Yeah. Yeah, hell, you never make everybody happy.
That's the great thing about what we have, a federated republic, because if we had a democracy, it's just pretty much mob rule.
Well, you'd have New York and California making all the decisions for the rest of the United States.
And that would not be fun.
Not
I mean,
at all.
just their fashion sense alone kind of sets them off 20 years from the rest of the herd. Fashion sense, moral acceptability. Well, Woody, did that mellow you out?
Oh, I'm just sitting over here. I'm good.
He's like, I'm chill.
I don't want to be that chill driving home. So I'm glad
You got San Francisco who decides that we've got too much HIV and hepatitis, so we're going to start handing out needles. Well, shit, these guys ain't being responsible with the needles. They're getting high and throwing them on the ground. Well, let's
with
just
the feces.
Yeah, let's
in the tent cities.
Let's make buildings where they can come shoot up, and then we can make sure they get rid of their needles. Then,
Yeah.
how far are you going to go?
Why don't we just...
You basically just legalized fucking heroin.
Yeah, in every method. And then the taxes have gone out of whack. The state's confiscating property left and right with the tax system. They've got tent cities in almost every major city in California now. The Los Angeles, they have a great big tent city that's out there by the stadium. They have... my cousins live out there still, and they're in between Los Angeles and San Francisco, and they go to watch the ball games.
Yeah.
There's more homeless people in Los Angeles than there are in the entire state, though.
Well, then California. California. Great state, legalizes medical marijuana, this, that, and the other. Okay, it's legal according to the state, but the state's running low on money, so what are we going to do? We're going to go bust this guy who's growing it and processing it and selling it, but we're going to use federal laws. So that way we can come in and seize everything. Bank accounts, businesses, house, everything. And they do it.
Almost weekly.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a nice YouTube fix on...
Definitely makes it hard to be running a business. Want to run a business in that state.
Most people give up after the first
attempt.
Some of them go the second attempt before they quit. But
I was impressed with Colorado's business model, though, because they've actually got armed security for their pot houses and their pot growing fields. And I was noticing that there's one called, I think it was called Iron Defense Network, and it's a whole bunch of combat vets that are out protecting pot fields. My twist on it, though, is because I know that if you read the new Form 4473, it still says whether you're prescribed it or not, if you're participating in the use of marijuana, it's still legal to have a gun. So I'm trying to figure out how this security company that uses weapons to protect marijuana can go out and smoke a joint on a YouTube video about their company and still have guns.
Yeah.
And it's in Colorado, so you know that they're flying their finger against the federal government, but at the same time I'm trying to figure out, why don't we just legalize this shit?
Yep.
Just do it. Because I've not... I know a lot of people who do marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a few people who do other stuff. And the ones who smoke a little pot are way more adjusted than the other people.
I never smoked pot, but I burned plenty of valleys full of pot. And I was exposed to controlled burns that gave me the munchies for a week. And I know I was pretty mellow when I came home for a couple months.
Hey, man, what's going on, man?
And those were actually entered into my medical record books that I wasn't allowed to be tested for 6 months after being exposed to a controlled burn. And I used to volunteer for those jobs all the time. Why did Mick like the war on drugs? Because Mick got controlled burns.
We just found this whole 3 acres filled with marijuana. What we're going to do? We're going to burn it.
Every time. I was amazed at some of the things that I'm not allowed to talk about, but what we did down there, the war on drugs is crazy. What acceptable losses were for the other side. Any casualties. Wow.
War on drugs.
And it's up here. I bet you money the spooks are running the job up here, putting all the little idiots that are selling drugs in place. Sorry, Mr. CIA man, please don't kill me.
I don't know. I just don't. Hell, I don't really see much wrong with it.
I don't see a lot wrong with marijuana. I think it's nice that they're moving forward with the legalization for the vets, field testing it on them for PTSD.
Exactly.
The funny thing is, marijuana's dangerous. Yeah, like that war they just got out of. How dare those vets want to try something else that might help them?
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not, but I guess somebody's done tests. Smoking marijuana will actually help with breaking the addiction to opioids.
Yep. It breaks almost every addiction cycle and replaces it with something that your body naturally accepts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's something about it does something with the receptors that the opioids use to where you don't go through the withdrawals and the strange shit like going cold turkey would do, or going to a rehab center, which is a multi-billion-dollar business now.
You can't get in the way of this, though. It's just like Lilly. We were talking about the financial cycle of research and development and product development and how Eli Lilly went from charging, $150 for insulin to $1,500 for the same amount of insulin now.
Yeah. I
don't understand how during the entire time they've been making insulin, which is, 45 years now, that they can suddenly say it's worth $1,500 a dose.
Yeah, because it's not a new concept.
Yeah, in fact, there are plenty of other... other imitators, other replacements out there that are available.
Yeah.
$1,500 a dose, y'all.
Well, it also goes back to, it's been a few years ago, but the government actually was asking because they keep saying the cost for prescription medicine was because of research and development. And somebody actually smart enough from the government said, well, the government runs its own cancer research center. Said a lot of the information and discoveries that are paid for by the government. So how are you? You're using all our
expenses,
funding,
and our stuff like that. Said, how are you spending all this? Said, we'd like to see your books. They immediately shut up and said, you'll have to get a warrant, and walked out of the room. Pretty much.
I'm entertained by the whole sunset laws that they had. They're the sunlight laws, because now in the pharma business and the medical industry alone, they have to document every dollar they spend with a doctor, and they have a certain limit, and nobody wants to get on the books anymore with those people. So it's almost a reputable business now. But they were doing stuff like buying golf courses for doctors and buying them houses in Florida and shit like that, and nobody had to report it until those sunshine laws came in.
Yeah,
I'm pretty happy about that.
Well, I this, like I said, this is years ago too, but pharmaceutical representatives come in and tell these people, here's this drug, try it for this. The original use of it was nothing close to what they're telling them to prescribe it for, but these doctors are, getting vacations, shit like that, so they just start prescribing, okay, it was for cancer treatment. Well, you've got anxiety issues, so we're going to give you this cancer pill for anxiety issues. See what happens.
Hydroxyzine, the one that I've got for situational anxiety, is anti-inflammatory. It's like Benadryl.
Yeah.
So it's for an antihistamine.
They were giving me an antihistamine that just happened to take care of my anxiety.
Right. Hydroxyzine.
It was something different, actually, but apparently it was just like, oh, so it happens to take care of anxiety, so that's what you're just going to give me?
Yeah, it KO'd me for a day and a half, the first one I took. I was out. They're like, yeah, we'll cut your dose in half. And I'm like, no, half a day's better than a day and a half.
Yeah, no kidding. How about I just take it before bed?
Well, my situational anxiety, walking out of an elevator, seeing 5 ladies sitting in hijabs at the next floor I get out of, it's hard to control that situational anxiety to nighttime.
Yeah, just fall asleep.
And they were like, well, Mr. White, we have English intensive language studies going on the 3rd floor of the math building. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That was my fun over the summer.
Okay, well, I guess it's another break of time. So you're going to, I guess, listen to another song and hear some commercials and somebody pay the bills. And
Somebody's trying to sell something.
yeah.
Damn capitalism.
We keep mentioning Carl's Jr., but the bastards won't pay up. It sure ain't nothing like Idiocracy.
Right? We'll be back after these messages and a song right here on Geek Public Radio.
You're listening to the Man Cave right here on Geek Public Radio with your hosts, Pat Brooks and Bill Maddox. You can find out more by checking out the Facebook page, facebook.com/GPR The Man Cave. And now, our hosts, Pat and Bill.
Yeah, I guess we're back. Hey, if anybody ever does check out that Facebook page, tell me what it says. I never look.
What Facebook page?
The GPR Man Cave page.
Oh, it's Pat and Bill both have access to that.
Do they?
Yeah.
No wonder I never look at it.
Who wants to listen to what they have to say?
Exactly.
Right?
Oh. Hopefully they'll be back next week. I think the fuckers just quit because I came back this week, seeing that I wasn't here for 3 weeks. But when you get home at 10 o'clock at night, it's sort of hard to make it to a radio show.
Oh, yeah. When I get here for closing time.
He forgot to turn your radio or mic back on.
Okay, well, we can fix that.
Yeah, we'll just move to a different one. Woody's moving. You couldn't hear him. Knowing him, he turned all of them off except for this.
How about now?
No, but he's got that one off too.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Goddamn program director can't get him to do anything.
No, you get him to leave the room. He's good at that. Okay, no new alcohol this time. So we can go over what we had tonight. And amazingly, 3 out of 3. The Wee Mac wasn't cold, but actually was pretty damn good for half warm beer. We went through the Berry Shandy. I enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. Wouldn't turn it down. I think I like the summer still better. The lemon over the... Say, hell, Woody's trying to give you his opinion. I'm just trying to talk until he gets back to turn this shit back on. I go over and start touching buttons, but I probably blow something up. Yeah, he was talking to somebody else in the other room. I don't know what he's touched. That was me. Okay, there's... I got headphones back.
Okay. How about now?
Nope. We're still looking for switches. So if you hear anything strange, don't ask.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, Woody's back.
Hey.
We can give Woody's opinion on the beers now.
All right, well, none of us know how to run the board except for Topher, so we're all kind of screwed when he's not sitting behind the...
Yeah. So what did you think about the Wee Mac?
I thought the Wee Mac was all right. For me, it had just a slight bitter taste to it, but very slight.
Yeah, not enough to turn you off to it.
No, it wasn't enough to turn it off. Granted, it was a little bit warm, so I would like to try it again when it's cold.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it'd be. I don't want to say great, but I think it'd be a good beer when it's cold.
I think most beers in general are better cold than they are lukewarm.
Yeah, because we're in the United States, not Germany
or England.
Yeah. And then we had the Berry Shandy.
Berry Shandy wasn't too bad. Like I said earlier, to me it had like a little bit of that cherry sucrete, cough drop. Little
medicine-y
little
taste.
Not so much medicine-y taste, but that little bit of cherry.
A little bit of cherry to it.
Yeah.
Which is strange because it says nothing about cherry on it. It does say blackberry.
But it does have that
natural flavors.
Does have that taste.
Yeah.
But just a little bit though, it wasn't too bad.
And then we had
the old Smokey strawberry mango margarita moonshine.
Yeah.
I was
Margarita.
Strawberry.
What'd you think of that, Topher, since this was your first time with it?
Actually, it's my second time with it.
Second time?
Because Libby brought some.
Okay. I didn't know anybody else bought any.
She brought over what was the first one? Butterscotch?
Butter pecan.
Yeah, the butter pecan, and then the mango.
Yep.
Well, we'll have a butter pecan another night because that stuff was pretty tasty.
That was
it was
delicious.
It was that last time we went, I had to buy the bottle of the strawberry mango for my oldest kid because, well, she likes alcohol. And my wife wanted...
And she is old enough to drink.
She is old enough to
right?
drink. And my wife told me she wanted the oatmeal cookie. And I could pick whatever I wanted for a third one. And I was back and forth between the butter pecan and the oatmeal cookie, but I went with the oatmeal cookie.
See, that was one I haven't tried yet.
I might bring a little bit up, because if I try to sneak a whole bottle out, she'll shoot me. But I might be able to get you enough for a taste, but it is...
I don't know, you might ruin me. I'll be over at the liquor store going, come on, get it!
Yeah.
They have a bunch of Old Smoky, but I'm not sure they have the...
I don't think they have the oatmeal cookie.
Yeah.
They might, but...
You're going to have to go over to Payless there in Anderson, see what
they have
flavors of Old
changed everything
Smoky.
around over there.
Oh, yeah?
I went there today, and where the alcohol used to be is now where all the drinks are. And the alcohol is where all the organic stuff used to be.
Oh, so they just moved it over just a little bit.
Yeah, they just moved it a little bit. They changed a couple things. Not enough to get you totally lost, but to make you wonder what the hell happened.
Just enough to piss all the regulars off.
Oh, yeah, there's some ladies like, I can't find a thing in here now. It's like, well, most of it's the same, lady. But, yeah, we noticed that today when we went in there, but... yeah, they had a bunch of different flavors down there. I like the oatmeal cookie. I like the butter pecan.
Yeah, just at Old Smoky alone, I'm guessing 25 different flavors of moonshine at least, what we saw there. Because, I mean, they had them all spread out.
Yeah, you don't taste all of them when you're there. They had that luau.
No.
And then they had a few other ones.
That would have been a fun night if we...
Yeah, if they let you taste all of them, it'd have been great.
Because they give you about a half a shot of taste is what they did.
Yep.
Because like when we did Sugarland, it was 12 shots. So if you took them all, you got 6 shots of moonshine.
I think I took every one of them at Sugarland. I turned down the Blue Flame at Old Smoky because I'd done that before, and like I said, that shit's only good
your
for
lesson.
You can run your car off of it or strip the paint, one of the two. But I don't think it's fit for consumption.
Well, and that was like one of the higher percentages, like 115 proof.
I think it was a little higher than that.
So
I don't think it was over 130.
yeah, none of them were real high, like what you think moonshine would be, like Everclear type
Yeah, no,
proofs. Most of what we've seen was somewhere between 40 and 80 proof.
What? Yeah, but because once you get over a certain proof, consumption without being mixed is just
Not enjoyable.
exactly. Yeah, it's like shooting Bacardi 151.
Yeah, the stuff that we bought is good by itself.
Yeah, exactly. You can sit there and just sip on it.
Have a little glass, sit back, because like the strawberry mango we tried tonight, it's got a nice fruity flavor to it, but then after you finished it, you get that just little bit of burn in your throat.
Yeah, but
not much.
Nothing horrible.
You,
Yeah,
you can tell you drank something, but just a little bit of burn.
yeah.
But yeah, that'd be a nice sit at home at night. Just have a couple and.
Compared to that blue flame where your sinuses suddenly drain and your eyes start watering, you're wondering what the hell did I just do?
Now, from the other place we went to, Sugarland, I tell you what, we had an awesome guy.
Oh yeah,
Giving us all of
he
our
was
samples. Good. He was actually, of course, this was in Gatlinburg. So this guy actually went to Ball State University.
Yeah, the two places we tested at, we find guys from Indiana as our bartenders, basically.
Yeah. And like this guy was probably 6'4" and over 300 pounds.
Oh yeah,
he was a big, broad-shouldered dude.
And
he looked like
he
a
knew how to fill
player.
that thing up to where it was just up to the lip without falling over.
Yeah,
he made sure you got your full taste.
But I mean, it was fun watching him because he really get the crowd into it.
Oh yeah, and if you didn't like something, he'd ask you what you liked.
Yep. Well, when it came down to do the last shot, I forget what it was. I think it was
pumpkin.
Yeah,
pumpkin spice. Yeah,
it was pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice. White girl drink, but the IPA.
So I passed on the pumpkin spice. Like, okay, well, which one of the other ones did you like? Because this is your last shot. You got to have one. So
we did toast then. Yeah.
So I took another butter pecan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, that's what we. Yeah, that's toast. We bought a bottle of that while I was there because that was what they considered a sipping cream.
Right, which I probably would have actually bought one, but you had to keep it refrigerated, and I didn't know how soon we were going to get back to the hotel, and then worry about trying to keep it cold all the way home. And
we bought one. Well, once you open it, you had to refrigerate it, so we bought it.
Right, the butter pecan from Old Smokey. Yeah, once you.
Oh yeah, the butter. Yeah, no, the butter pecan from
Sugarland. You had to keep refrigerated all the time, even if you didn't open it. You were supposed to refrigerate it. All the time.
We bought one, got back to the hotel, put it in there, and then put it in Bill's cooler on the way home. And then, in fact, I finished it last Saturday sitting around the fire at Bill's house. But, yeah, it's only what, 30%? Since it was like a sipping cream, they considered it 30%.
It was a low
proof.
percentage.
Yeah.
Well, and plus that actually had milk in it, so that's part of the reason why you have to keep it refrigerated.
I like the strawberry, but my wife liked the butter pecans, so I wasn't arguing. It's not worth it. They both tasted good.
Right?
Well, I knew from the Old Smokey, I knew I was going to buy several of those because I really liked them.
Oh, yeah.
So if we go back, I'd probably try a few more of the Sugarland ones and actually, have a night cooler. And
I think Sugarland is the only one I haven't had. Like from just what you guys brought and what it's available locally.
Well, anything from Sugarland I bought's gone.
So I haven't actually tried.
Where's Sugarland at locally?
I don't know because I know Smokey is right down the road.
I think I found it in Sugarland somewhere, but I can't remember where it was at.
Like I've never tried it, but I've tried Old Smokey before. When you said you were going to Old Smokey, I was like, oh yeah, I know that. I know that stuff.
Sugarland's bestseller is the apple pie still. Old Smokey's bestseller now is their coffee flavor.
Yeah, which I bought some of the apple pie from Sugarland. That was a really good one.
And then,
so we'll have to bring it.
What the hell was that one he had us taste where you took the shot and then you breathed in, you tasted something?
It was a peanut butter jelly.
Yeah. You breathed in, you tasted peanut butter.
We don't have a whole lot of luck with the peanut butter jelly on this show.
But when you breathed out, you sucked it in, you tasted the grape jelly.
No, you breathe in for peanut butter, you exhale for the jelly.
Exhale for jelly, and it's honest to God, that's what you taste. It was weird.
It was
like
just
some freaky ass science shit.
It was like the Grapes of Wrath mead that we had because it was really good. It tasted like peanut butter jelly, and then we had the peanut butter jelly, the PB&J mead. Which after that was like
jelly time.
Horrible.
Oh yeah, it was.
We need to find more Grapes of Wrath because everybody who drank it was like,
I think I missed that one.
yeah. Everybody who drank it was like, oh my god, this tastes like just like a peanut butter jelly sandwich. And it was delicious. It was like, oh, if you like peanut butter jelly sandwiches, it was exactly that. And
that meat
so like
was,
the
wasn't
PB
very
and J,
good, but it was probably the best thing you bought I've tasted so far. You picked some nasty shit.
I only buy what I have available.
I think I've come to one conclusion, Brian. Since we're two of the newer guys on the show, I think this is like a fraternity, and we're going through our hazing period right now.
He's a sadistic fuck's what he is.
Well, no, we've drank all the good stuff, and now just to be able to try new stuff locally, we have to fall on hard times sometime.
Yeah,
I think we're being hazed. He's lying.
There's only so many good things.
every guy in the room doesn't like IPAs, but yet we still taste them. What the hell is wrong with us?
For like 3 weeks straight.
Hey, I stopped. I actually when I go to look stuff. All right, so the guys don't like IPAs. They don't like this. They don't like this. Here's what they like. Tell me what we should get. Well, you should try this. We've already tried it. Well, you should try this. We've already tried it. Well, you should try this. We've already tried it.
Dig deep.
No, Anderson is out. Alec's out. Anderson's out. The only place I have left is the liquor stores around Ball State campus. Because we've done everything and everything else.
One of these days I wanted to make a trip to, I'll go over anyway just for the hell of it, to, it's that grocery store over in Cincinnati. Jungle Gyms.
Yeah. I was going to say Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I've heard of that place, yeah.
If you go to the one, if you like wine, go to the south side one. If you like beer, go to the north side, because I'll bet you they've got 300 different styles of beers in there.
Well, it sounds like we're going to have to
and-
make a road trip to Indy, because there's obviously got to be some places around there.
Actually hit some of the breweries and get...
Well, honestly, the stuff I'm pulling out of I still have an entire wall left in the Muncie, but they're all from Indiana. They have an entire section of Indiana breweries.
Right.
So I'm slowly making my way through the leg spreader. I haven't been able to get just enough to cover us because that was when I was like, we should try it. Just because it would sound awesome to do a show on. Or like, what are we trying? We're trying the leg spreader. Yeah.
Speaking of which, last weekend we were trying to come up with a name for Bill's home brew.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with the PD for Panty Dropper. But here's the finisher. Panty Dropper Liquors.
See, now, if I get back over to Jungle Gyms, they had it was hilarious, a bottle of it. But I can't remember what the brewery is, but the beer is actually called, I think, Ye Old Leg Humper. And the picture on the bottle was a dog hunching somebody's leg. And I was like, just for the picture alone, I'd have to get that.
Just to get the bottle, yeah.
Now, we was over to Payless today, and we was in their clearance section, which has alcohol in it, but there wasn't anything worth buying. I about bought it just for the bottle because it actually had a thing where you hit the button, and it had a little LED screen on there, and it come up and said, "Happy Birthday," or it'd say, "I love you," or something like that. But there's an actual message thing built into the bottle. The liquor, but it's vodka.
Oh, it's pre-programmed. You can't change it.
Yeah, I don't think you can change it. But
because that would be pretty cool if you could.
Yeah, if you could
Right?
change it, program, I'd have bought the damn thing then, $16 or not. But yeah, they had Fuzzy's vodka,
Right.
Fuzzy Zeller. They had some of his bottles on clearance, and then they had
Any Chicks vodka?
no Chicks vodka, not in the clearance section. I didn't look in the normal section though. What the hell is his vodka?
I think it's just Chicks vodka, isn't it?
I couldn't remember. I know he talked about it, but I couldn't remember the name of it.
Yeah, it's been over a year or so since he came out with it.
I didn't say last time I listened to Bob and Tom was probably 5 or 6 months ago.
What was
They talked about it then.
The warm hug that's ice cold.
Yeah.
I want a mouth hug. Sorry, they're talking about
You have to talk to the wife on that.
right. Just going off of what Bob and Tom used to, talking about, like, oh, mouth hugs are nice. Yeah, they are.
It's the wrong room to be asking for one.
No, my wife's on the way home.
Is she?
She called. She said,
Get off early again?
yep. Every Friday.
I noticed that last couple times I actually was able to make it up here that she gets out of there a little early.
Well, and you're going to be in trouble, Brian, because you're in her parking spot.
Yeah, they get PTO. Or not PTO. Yeah, PTO.
Pay time off.
So, but it's accrued, like, how many hours they work. So, like, she works just enough during the week to cover what they get off early.
Oh,
so
yeah.
she can get full paychecks.
Yeah.
But she's never actually making
She's
actual
not
time.
any time.
but she's able to cover. If they start working full Fridays again, then she'll be back to being able to
Accruing time.
Accrue
off
time.
Yeah. Hell,
Which-
I don't know where she parks at. Hell, she's normally never here.
right.
Well, yeah, usually you're gone by the time she
By the
gets
time
here.
she gets here, yeah. If I know Dad, I just parked in behind him, but I don't know where anybody parked. Hell, it's like my house. It looked like a used car lot anymore. I got one. Hold on. Hold on. Jesus.
He's taking off his shoes.
One. Well, I got the Pontiac and the Beretta and the Grand Prix and the Dodge and my truck and the Acadia. I got 7 vehicles at my
I was
house.
say, as long as you don't pull down your zipper, we're good.
Yeah,
My question is what is wrong with the pontoon that you have sitting in your yard?
it's not mine.
Okay, what is wrong with it though?
Nothing. He used it a couple times this summer.
But I knew he had it up for sale, and then it was
No, he had a little boat up for sale. I haven't seen the pontoon for sale.
'cause, it's now off the.
Yeah, that's what gets me. I think he might have sold the trailer and left the pontoon. I don't know.
It's not off the. Because I was like, if you're just gonna scrap, because last I heard you said something about like scrapping out whatever boat was there or whatever, and I was like, if the pontoon still works, I will take the pontoon rather than you.
No, Dad had a
tearing it
pontoon.
down?
We sold it. We had an old boat out there. It was junk, so we just gave it to the scrapping guy and loaded a bunch of shit in it, and he took it just to clean up the yard. One of the renters bought that pontoon. It was on a trailer for the longest time, and now I just noticed it today for the first time. It's sitting there with no trailer now because that pontoon trailer out there is Jim Hill's.
Right, because I saw that because I know that he looked at Eddie and said, "Hey, can you bring me the pontoon boat or the pontoon trailer, so I can get mine from the lake and bring it up, bring it back."
That's the whole reason he bought Dad sold the pontoon without the trailer, just because I didn't want the trailer. But yeah, so we sold the trailer to Jim, and it's just been sitting there, which didn't bother me because I had a Beretta sitting up at his house forever, and now I've got one other car still sitting up there.
But no, like those pontoons, those style pontoons make awesome fishing platforms.
Oh, the really short ones.
Where it's
got the long.
doesn't have
front.
the thing over top of it. It's just right around the edge. It's like literally you just sit out there and just
Yeah.
fish all day. So
Yeah, it's open top. There's no top on it. But yeah, he used it a couple times this summer, I know, but I don't know what he's got planned with it now.
Just checking because I was looking at it going, my wife would kill me if I didn't at least ask.
Yeah, no, it's not ours.
Because if it's not covered come wintertime, it's going to be tore up.
Yeah, that ain't mine.
Yard decoration.
Pretty much, yeah. It's something for some rich guy to drive by and complain about.
I'm over here going, I'd love to fish off of that thing. I'll take a dinghy at this point just to get on the water rather than
From the shore.
from the shore. I don't care. Give me a John boat. I'll put a trolling motor on it and go everywhere.
We used to have those little plastic 2-seaters that took a little trolling motor.
Yeah.
Those were nice because two guys
Like
could
a
pick out
12-foot John boat, 10-foot, something like that.
I just know it was plastic, flat bottom, and two guys could pick it up and throw it in the back of a truck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, hell, if you want to just go pond hop, I mean, we had it up north. Throw it in the back of a truck, you can go to this lake, and then you drive over to this lake, and nothing, you can drive, hit 4 different lakes in a weekend if you wanted to.
I want something that I can, like, if my wife wants to go fishing, like, okay, well, we can't make it up north, we can't make it down here. We'll just go over here to the Aqua Gardens.
Yeah.
And just put put it in and real quick and fish over at Aqua Gardens.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite times fishing though was like night fishing over there with the light up bobbers and the whole 9 yards.
Right.
Like sitting in a boat in the middle of that. You just
Yeah, it's been a couple years ago. I was off work. We had the German students with us, so I just took them over to the park over in Anderson. I was like, well, hell, let's go walk around the lake, pond, whatever you want to call it. And it was actually one of them days, spring break, where it was fairly warm. And they started counting turtles. I think they got up to like 80-some turtles before we got around the lake. Wow. Where it was just, it was a nice sunny day out, so they was all climbing up on the logs sunning. I was like, holy shit, I didn't realize there were many turtles in this lake.
like, soup.
Yeah.
Soup.
There's
Turtle soup is not bad.
I've had it.
I have. There are some days that I'm sitting around here and going, I would love for just a couple rabbits, put in a crock pot, let them cook all day, and then that'd be dinner. Like, because like I miss those days.
Our buddy Josh, his stepdad, father-in-law, I should say, big outdoorsman, but he actually goes to different places, tries to catch turtles. Like, he's actually the property just west of my house, which is farm property, but there's like a little corner where a creek runs through. I've let him go out there to try to catch turtles. I think he's caught a few out there, but basically you just tie a line to a tree with a hook, put some meat on it, just throw it out there.
Yep.
Yeah, just like gator.
See what you can catch.
Literally just like gator.
Yep.
Yeah, my uncle was doing that at my other uncle's property. They're both gone now, but I don't know how big the damn turtle was, but he kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger hooks. And the damn turtle was straightening the hooks out.
That's a big turtle.
Yeah, it was.
That's another thing, though. Like, gator is delicious.
I've had gator before. It seemed kind of plain. Didn't have a whole lot of
I had
flavor.
gator sausage, and then I've had gator, just like battered gator for gator po' boys.
Yeah, po' boy.
And then,
sausage is spiced up all to hell, so that's sort of hard to judge anything off of.
Right. I mean, it was still delicious, but I had gator sandwiches. I had gator, like, all sorts of stuff while I was in Baton Rouge. And I was just like, I came back and was like, if you tell me that, oh, no, we're going to have gator, I'll be there with bells on. I don't care. I will give you anything that you want. I'm like, oh, we win $100. Okay, well, I'll try to find $100 for you to here. It tripped me just right, and I was just like, okay, all you have to do is say it's gator. I'm there.
They got that big snake problem down in Florida. Has anybody down there tried to?
Oh yeah, all the ball pythons
And stuff like that. Anaconda. Does anybody eat those?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
I think it's just more of a nuisance thing, and they just kill them. I don't know.
Yeah, well, pigs are a nuisance too, and they're delicious.
Well,
that made me want to go back down to Louisiana too for the boar hunts.
Yeah, there's a place you can go, and they'll shoot as many as you want. Just leave them there.
Yeah.
Is it pop, 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 pop? Okay, put those on the truck. I have a pit at home.
Now, have you guys ever seen the helicopter hunts for wild pigs?
Huh.
No, but I don't think I could shoot out of a helicopter.
I've seen them use the...
They use a little Robinson...
The fan boats.
They use a little Robinson 2-seater helicopter.
Yeah.
So you got your pilot, and then you got your guy out the other side, and they use like either AKs or ARs, and they'll find the pigs, and they'll swoop down on real low, and you just...
No, just go at it.
Just go at it.
I seen them hunting them down somewhere once. I don't know if it was Florida or Louisiana, somewhere down there, because they was using the big fan boats.
Right.
And they'd drive along, and they'd have somebody with a shotgun. They'd shoot it with a shotgun to slow it down, and then they'd get back on it, and then they'd finish it off with a rifle. Because normally, I think it was using double-up buck just to slow them down.
Right. Well, like when the helicopter swooped down, the pigs would take off running full speed.
Yeah.
And they just kind of follow them and get right up on them and just kind of shoot them as they go.
That would be cool.
That would be an
If
experience.
you wasn't scared shitless of heights. Which means,
Like, oh my god!
which means I'm doing the fan boat.
I was watching something like, but I look at that and go like, oh, so they can get like 2 or 3 pigs. I have a pit, or I will dig a pit. I even looked at Jim one day and said, hey, you remember when we grew up and we used to do the whole pig in the ground thing, and all the kids would come over and we'd all do like the family thing? After we found out that our families were related, and when we were younger, we actually did the family thing together and didn't realize it was because he was older, and I was just one of the nuisance kids that was running around that he was stuck with. I was like, we totally could do that here. We'll just dig a pit back here. We'll set it up for a pig, and we'll get everything squared away, and we'll just do that once a year. All the friends and family come over, and we'll put a pig in the ground. Totally want to go boar hunting.
I say I cook parts of pig in a smoker. They're good. The ribs.
Whole pig with, apple in the mouth and just drop it in there. And it makes me go, I'm hungry.
Was it the Hank Williams Jr. song? We got the pig in the ground
and the beer on ice. Hey, everybody coming over tonight.
What do you do? Wrap it in like wet burlap sacks when you throw it in the pit, or?
Depends on the different types. Because some people do like the big leaf things or whatever, then they do it like Hawaiian style.
Yeah.
Some don't even do that. What they do is they start the fire. They get the fire going until it coals out.
Yeah.
To where it's just coals, and then they lower the pig down.
And then cover it up
on the grate, and then they will put like a metal thing down over top of it to seal it.
Yeah.
And it becomes technically a buried pig, but it's basically an underground grill.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they'll just like a 2-inch metal slab over top of the thing to block it in.
It's also like a 24-hour cook damn near, ain't it?
Depends on how you do it, but yeah, like they'll get it going, and then late one night or the night before.
No, I know we had
and then open it up during the day.
They actually built a big pig cooker out of an old, God, what was it, like 3 or 4 foot gas pipeline they didn't use. So we welded ends on it and cut a hole in it. But that was, I think, 12 hours what we cooked that one. But, they started it the night before, and then every once in a while somebody'd go over and check it. And one guy got up a couple times during the night shift to go check it.
Right.
But I know it takes a while when you do a whole pig.
Yeah, I would totally love to put one. Mainly because I love pig. I think it's delicious. Secondly, because that gives me a section of ground that
Muslim?
You
can't go Muslim?
Oh, no, never.
Okay.
Or Jewish. I can never be Jewish because they don't do the pig either.
Because ham is delicious.
Ham, pork chops, bacon.
There's just too much good stuff.
Yeah, I could deep fry just the pig, and I will just cut sections off of it. And be like, I don't care I don't even know what it is. It's just delicious.
Matter, it's good.
Fat back.
Right? I like hog maws.
I like pig feet.
I was even looking at doing. They have a cinder block pig pit design, where it's like you kind of dig it down, you put in cinder blocks and build it up. Where you have like the fire box one side, and then you have the top that is enclosed by the metal lid type thing.
So it's like an indirect heat?
Yeah, so you got the fire down below. It's like a big in-ground grill. It kind of sits down a little bit.
You're still setting the pig right over the coals.
Right. But, and kind of, because like the coals are over here, the pig is over here.
Yep.
And like the whole thing is encased in cinder block with a metal thing over the top. And a little access area where you can tend to the fire. And I was like, so I could build that for $150, metal included.
No.
I was like, I'm gonna put that back there. I like pig. I don't want to mow all of my grass. So, like, if I take a big section up for a
pig cooker, that's a win-win. What are we looking at?
Right? Like, anybody got a pig?
Winner, piggy dinner.
Yeah, no shit.
I'll pay for that if somebody pays for the pig. We're square at that point, right? Because I think you can get a pig for $150.
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah.
Depends on what the going price is at the time.
I'm like, definitely. I'm drooling over here. I'm like, I can't. I'm going to go downstairs and cook some pork chops because, like, I'm just literally like.
If you're drooling, I'm sitting here yawning.
I was gonna say, isn't it chop night over at the Curve?
Yeah, actually, it's
get a 2 chop dinner.
It's broasted pork chop night.
Ooh,
yeah.
That does sound good.
I've never had a broasted pork. I've had the broasted chickens, and those are delicious. I could just imagine doing the pork.
I've had the chop several times, and yeah, they're pretty good.
It makes me want to figure out how to broast stuff because I don't even know what that means. It's just delicious.
It's a way of cooking.
Well, and you get a good sized chop,
right? I know, like I said, the chicken was like a freaking roasted chicken. Like the size of a regular dinner plate.
I want 4 whole chickens.
Not half, whole.
Whole chickens and a loaf of white bread.
I just want some white toast.
Yeah, white toast. Elwood. It is that time of night. We will have to say, bid you guys a fond adieu. But adieu. Next week, hopefully, everybody else will be here. It was nice seeing Mick hanging out, bringing the wee Mac. Hopefully, Pat and Bill will be back. And hopefully, we will have another location for us to go sit at.
Or at least Bill.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll have another live location. We have a couple set up. I'm waiting on them to.
Biggest Pat's getting, he might be pregnant.
I thought he was losing weight.
He lost some for a while. I think he put it back on. He might be losing again.
I don't know. Pat's probably getting old enough. He's going through the change.
Could be. That could be. His hormones are all out of cycle.
But we'll see you all next week. This is the Man Cave right here on Geek Public Radio.
Bye.
Good night.